welcome to the NASCAR Truck Series in 2025. It's the 5th round of the 2025 campaign, and we are here at Martinsville for the 5th round. We've had 2 races off of the regular campaign, but now we're back and still involved. And let's see as we get ready to hand over for the invocations.
Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer tonight's invocation, please welcome Senior Pastor of First Baptist Church in East Martinsville, Charles Whitfield.
Would you join me in prayer? Gracious God, we thank you for this day and for the spirit of unity. We thank you for the thrill of this race tonight. Our prayer is that you keep the drivers safe, bless the crews, and may all gathered here tonight experience joy, fellowship, and peace. In your holy name we pray with thanksgiving. Amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome from Virginia Tech, Naturally Sharp.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Great to see all the families gathering on pit road as we're ready to kick things off at the legendary Paperclip. We're racing under the lights from Martinsville in moments.
Once again, we're taking Fox's audio commentary for this one, so let's just give you a little reminder about how the points stand coming into this one, as well as your starting grid for 11. It's quite interesting starting on the run as well. 200 laps around the short track. Corey Heim starts on pole and has the points lead here as well by 13 to Tyler Majestic as well, 217 to 204. Chandler Smith goes in 3rd place as well.
The Craftsman Truck Series is gearing up to take on the tight turns and long straightaways of Martinsville Speedway. Constructed in 1947, Martinsville is the oldest track the trucks will take on this year in the roots of NASCAR. The Speedway's unique surface is concrete in the corners and asphalt on the straightaways. This change of surface has proven to be a tough challenge for drivers to build the speed they need to make passes. Drivers will need to execute hard braking techniques and push their way out of the corners to increase their track position. The infamous Paperclip will push drivers to their limits and test their patience. Here's what Tyler Ingram had to say about the chaos of Martinsville Speed.
Martinsville is probably one of the hardest short tracks that we go to all year long. You have to be so comfortable just being default aggressive the whole time. You get 200 laps around the racetrack, which sounds like a lot, but at Martinsville, it goes by with a flash. So that's super difficult just to put in perspective of, there's just no time. You have to have as much track position as possible and be really aggressive on your pit road, your restarts. Martinsville was the very first racetrack on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit that I started at. And it was one of the most difficult first starts I ever had because I just didn't appreciate just how aggressive the driving was.
Christian Eckes dominated last year's race at Martinsville Speedway. Unfazed by the chaos that produced 11 cautions, Eckes led 133 of 200 laps, swept both stages, and found victory lane. Drivers are about to fire their engines, the green flag will fly, and will be underway shortly. Who will make their way to victory lane tonight?
We're going to find out shortly in what's going to be a very entertaining race, so I'm hoping you stick with us here on JB Motorsports as we get all of the action. Let's get ready to fire those engines here at Martinsville and get set for what is going to be, I think, a very classic 200 for the trucks here. There's a lot of anticipation in the air, a lot of worry, but I think it's going to be a good one. Now, last week we had JT, who was with us in the booth as well, and this week it's me. Hello.
Welcome back to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. We have 35 drivers in the field, and 4 of them are making their Truck Series debut. And 18-year-old Luke Baldwin. Now, you've heard the Baldwin name for quite some time. His dad, Tommy, has been in the sport for many years. See, this young man just recently graduated from high school, picked up a championship. There he is with his dad, Tommy, his mom, his brother. Got the 2024 Smart Modified Tour champion, so he earned his right to start in the Truck Series. It's his first of 3 starts scheduled, I believe, for this season. So good to have him out there. Moments ago, our Josh Sims caught up with Luke.
All right, Luke, the day started off really well for you, fastest in practice. I know you didn't qualify the way you wanted, but you're about to hop in for your first Truck Series race. What are the emotions you have right now, and what are your expectations?
Yeah, it's surreal. I just expect to go out there and have a competitive truck. It's been really fast all day. I definitely made some pretty big mistakes in qualifying there and put us in a bad spot. But, you know, I just got to put my head down and just be grateful for the situation I'm in. You know, it's really cool to come out here and race this truck for the Thor Sport Racing guys. And Mohawk Northeast has given me a great opportunity to come out here and do it. So just going to try to keep the nose clean, be patient, try to slice through the field a little bit, and be there at the end, execute on pit strategy and, you know, whatever else we run into.
Good luck out there tonight, Luke.
Thank you.
So, Joey, what do you think making his debut at this place?
Well, you know, on one hand, Martinsville is a very challenging racetrack, but on the other hand, this is how he grew up, short track racing. He's raced here at Martinsville in the modifieds before, so he's got some experience. Although the trucks are very different than what a modified is, he's been around racing his whole life, so he knows what he's up against here, but there's going to still be a learning curve for him for sure.
You know, he got that garage's attention. He went out there and was the fastest in practice, and he talked about messing up qualifying. That's because he overdid it. I want to try to pull the reins back on the guy. I don't want to try to rush him along. He was definitely on full tilt in qualifying, very talented tilt in qualifying, very talented young racer. Got our attention today. We'll
Okay, this stream had a slight problem. Let's go back.
That's
I
right.
like it.
Well, let's go downstairs once again for the most famous words in racing.
Martinsville Speedway. Give a big NASCAR welcome to Marisa Womack. She is a Chief Executive Officer to the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Blue Ridge. But tonight, she is our Grand Marshal, ready to say the most famous words in motorsports. Take it away, Marisa.
On behalf of the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Blue Ridge, drivers, start your engines.
Laps of short track racing from Martinsville is coming up. It's race number 5 for the Craftsman Truck Series. Stay right here. Green flag next.
Yep, green flag coming your way then, and we have a couple of new screens for you to take a look at here tonight. Finally, we've managed to get the driver tracker sorted. No more switching between Apple Maps and Google Maps and so on and so on. We've actually got the app on our MacBook device, so we have the full screen, and we've even got something a little bit special for you as well. Are you ready? Oh yeah. We've gone full screen with the driver tracker. So during pit stops, during cautions, during any time that we need to see exactly who's where on the circuit at what time, we now have the driver tracker in full. And this is across every single Series. So sit back, relax, and enjoy it, because we certainly are. 35 cars about to venture out. March Madness is still getting in as well for many of them, watching on from around the stadium here. And it's Kentucky and Tennessee, 0-0 at the moment. They're watching as well down there in the pit garages as everybody gets very much ready for March Madness. But the cars are about to venture out to the circuit. We'll be swapping between these two graphics, so you'll always have the driver tracker as well as full driver screens and information from pit lane, and our Fox team will be providing you with the commentary as well, and I'll be stepping in during the commercial breaks to give you all the latest news that we can get hold of, and just filling in the blanks as well as we make more of an effort as well with trucks after the first couple of weeks that we've had access to. And don't forget also, Truck Series, we do love it, and it is great to have the trucks back here on JBMotorsports. It's our first broadcast on the main channel this weekend. Tomorrow, Xfinity, myself and Jack will be calling the action. That's going to be live on JBMotorsports and on USRN2 as well. The Cup Series on Sunday, JT and Jack will be taking you through the first stage, and I'll be back for stages 2 and 3. Let's get ready then and hand back over to Fox.
Winning feels so good, especially at this historic Martinsville.
Green, white, checker. William Byron comes off turn 4 to win. Heck yeah, buddy. Great job. Byron way out in the front. Checkered flag is waving. Oh, yeah, boy. Oh, yeah.
And William Byron, the lone Cup driver in the field tonight. Pretty cool to have a two-time Daytona 500 winner joining us. He starts 13th. Joey, let's dial him up.
William Byron, Joey Logano up here in the FS1 booth. You got me?
Yeah, man. What's up?
All right. You're in the same truck that won last week. I don't want to say anything, but if you don't win tonight, there's only, one person to blame. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, no pressure, right? Yeah, no, it'll be fun. Appreciate these guys letting me do it. Got a little work to do, so these things drive quite a bit different than the Cup car here, so just trying to figure it out. Hopefully we have a good race.
Oh, I'm sure you will. It'll be fun to watch out there. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Well, he was a good sport there. All right, Michael. Corey Heim, he had the field covered last week until he lost power. He comes back. He's on the pole tonight. Let's dial him up.
Yeah, let's chime in with Heim. Hey, Corey Heim, Michael Waltrip and the Fox team. Fast truck last week, picked up right where you left off then. How do you feel about tonight's battle? I know it's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, starting up front definitely makes our jobs a little bit easier. Very grateful for my truck on garage guys. Our mobile one toucher was really good all day. Definitely got to keep it up front. I think inevitably we're going to have to come to the field at some point, so it's certainly going to be our toughest battle all night, but I'm confident we can get it done, so ready to roll.
Yes, sir. Good-looking Mobile One Toyota there. Go get Toyota the win in their 500th race tonight, bud.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're going to try.
Well, we certainly know he knows how to slice and dice through the field. Let's now take a look at the boys and girls clubs of the Blue Ridge 200 starting grid. Just heard from Corey Heim starting on pole for the second straight week. Outside, Ty Majeski, third straight race here at Martinsville that he started on the front row.
Then in the second row, we have Caden Honeycutt with a great qualifying effort up here towards the front. Chandler Smith, who's looking to kind of turn things around. He's a great driver. He's had some speed. He's just looking to have a solid race here tonight, I believe.
Daniel Hemrick in the number 19. That truck won both races last year. And Tanner Gray has had a great start to the season. Looking forward to seeing what he's got tonight.
Take a look at the rest of the field. Lane Riggs there. Michael, you talked about him earlier. You liked him.
I love that guy. I think he's going to get a win early in this season. He's going to win often as well. And there you see the veteran, Matt Crafton. Been here about as long as I have, Joey.
Absolutely. Back here you see Ben Rhodes. You expect him to go towards the front here in this race alongside. And Rhodes 10 looks pretty strong. Grant Infinger as well. Those two trucks are going to move forward.
And Tyler Ankrum. He was really good in practice. Didn't have a good qualifying effort. So you can go deep in the field. And there's Luke Baldwin. I said he got people's attention. We'll have to see. You talked about aggression and patience. How that kid is able to balance those two things.
Let's say hello to our pit reporters tonight, Josh Sims and Caitlin Vinci. Good evening, Caitlin.
Well, good evening, Jamie. And one driver who's always so competitive when we come here to Martinsville Speedway is the defending champion of Ty Majeski. These short tracks fit right into his wheelhouse. He's won 2 of the last 4 short track races. I spoke with him earlier today, and he told me even though Martinsville is not considered to be a crown jewel event, he said, for me, growing up racing on these style racetracks, it is. I would love nothing more than to add a grandfather clock to my trophy collection, he said, and so far so good for this team. They are starting on the front row for tonight's race. Josh?
Well, Chandler Smith has been one of the most consistent drivers so far this season. Top 10 in every single race. One of just 2 drivers to have done that so far. Now, he doesn't have a win just yet on the season. When I caught up with Chandler earlier today, he said, yeah, this is a good track for me. Never finished worse than 6th here at Martinsville. But during practice, we were way off in the beginning. We had to work on this truck to get it better and better. And by the end of that practice session, they felt like they have something really good. He qualified 4th, and Chandler is a 2-time short track winner here in the Truck Series. Looking for his 3rd out here tonight, guys.
I love that onboard view. We're going to have a Chandler Smith all night. He also has a bumper cam, Joey, so looking forward to that.
That'll be used a lot.
Well, we have had the absolute perfect day here. The weather has been mid-70s all day, light winds, and it hasn't changed much as the sun has gone down 70 degrees, so we've dropped about 4 degrees. Perfect night for racing. Look at that view. Joey, how about the race analysis?
Yes, take a look at it here. 200 laps, 105 miles. Got a couple stages, both of them being 50 laps. In the final stage, the longest one, 100 laps. You see him going down pit road now. Slow pit road, only 30 miles an hour. The fuel window, 130 to 140 laps, which means you can do this in one stop. And with cautions, you can do it pretty early if you want to put them on early and stay out there and keep that track position. Going to be tough.
Yeah, we talked about strategy. It'll be interesting who pits first, who blinks first. This is a 5.526 mile, half-mile racetrack, if you will. The corners are concrete, the straightaways pavement. It's just a fun little racetrack. It's straight up. You know, you go down to 3 and 4, you get basically the same thing in 1 and 2. That's why this place is so fun.
And that was our track description, sponsored by Craftsman. Let's listen to the 19 radio of Daniel Hemrick.
Be there at the end. Remember, stage 1 and 2 is all about points. Stage 3, we're going full offensive.
That's fun tonight, fellas. We got Ben take crew up the road. It's good work, Britt. That's fun.
Sounds like they've already got their plan laid out, Joey. Go win stage 1, get those points, and then pit and go on offense.
Yeah, it all sounds good right now until the green flag drops and everything goes out the window and you got to come up with something else. You just don't know how these races will play out. And, you know, all it takes is a couple bumps here and there to throw your plan out the window, and you got to start coming up with something.
You know, we need to temper our expectations. We see the 19 truck. Christian Eckes dominated, won both of these races last year, but Christian has moved up to the Xfinity Series. Charles Denike, the crew chief, has moved up to the Cup Series. Completely different team. Maybe they'll have the same result, but we have to temper expectations. HendrickCars.com on board for William Byron. He also has a truck bed cam for us tonight, Mikey.
Great views along with Chandler Smith. You can see the Ford Performance cam on board with Chandler, and I think he's got us a bumper cam too. Hopefully it'll stay intact for most of this race. I wouldn't bet on it, but
definitely maybe.
11 drivers in the field have never raced here before in a truck. A lot of excitement. It's been a long day for these teams. They've been waiting for this moment. Corey Heim on the inside, Ty Majeski on the outside. Green flag is in the air. We are racing at Martinsville.
See a pretty orderly start. Ty Majeski's going to sneak into second, get down to that bottom. So important early in the race to get to that bottom lane, start managing your car, your truck a little bit, your tires, and you want to get down as quick as possible.
You can see Caden
Honeycutt for it.
He was stuck up top there. Can he squeeze to the bottom? Not going to be able to do it. Oh, excuse me, that's Tanner Gray in the 15 that was up there. Good battling back there. Here comes a challenge for second. That's Honeycutt.
And this is one of those places that, you know, in low pressures, cold tires, your truck doesn't drive really good. But if you want your truck to be good on the long haul, you got to have the air pressure so low it just doesn't. You're driving on flat tires, basically, and you have to fend off as much as you can. Because I expect Ty to be fast on the long haul here, but he's obviously paying the price right now in the short run.
Big battle there. Already some contact. That's nothing that we don't expect all night long. There's that beautiful Ford Performance bumper cam. Taking a peek on the bottom.
Caden Honeycutt there in the 45 truck. Michael, I know you like him a lot. We talk about him a lot. He's had 3 finishes now, 13th or better the last 3 weeks.
Talented young racer. Another one of these guys you expect to go to victory lane in the truck series. You see Stuart Friesen stuck up top. Practice, Joey, earlier today wasn't great for Stuart. Battling outside of Raja there, and you see Matt Crafton maybe bounced off the outside wall there off turn 2.
So Stewart's doing a good job hanging, and right now you're listening to your spotter saying, is there a gap behind Raja? Right? If I was to just lift and get in, can I get in that gap where Matt Crafton is? Right now I would say just barely, maybe, right? So you're going to keep fighting out there as long as you can, hoping that that gap grows a little bit, that you can sneak it in there.
And Matt Crafton saying, no, there's not a gap there, Stuart, so don't think there is.
I don't think he's going to get there. No. He's still battling out there. And as he's out there, both these trucks right now, they're burning their tires up. They are running hard as they can as they race side by side like this. And I know every position matters, but you also got to think what's going to happen later in the race and the run on these tires. And the other piece to it, Michael, like you said earlier, how long are these tires going to be on it anyways? This might be the time you just be aggressive with your truck and your tires.
He found that hole you were talking about. Joey, what's so hard about running around the top here? Just the fact that it's further, or is there just less grip up there?
The grip level's about the same, but it's a lot longer ways around. And until the track really takes on a lot of rubber and clumps up and the bottom lane gets kind of just crappy, if you will, there's just no grip. The top lane gets clean and there's more grip up in the second lane, but I don't see that happening tonight in such a short race.
See Ben Rhodes in the 99. Got off to a horrible start a week ago at Homestead, was involved in that lap 1 wreck. Played catch up all race long, trying to do the same here. Didn't have the best qualifying effort, but he's making up ground already, past 4 trucks.
And Jamie Gio right there in front of him, he was in that same wreck on the first lap. So Ben Rhodes is our biggest mover. He's gone from 20th up to 16th, 4 spots, and he's got a fast truck. You can see that, can't you, Joey? He's just all over the back of that 17.
Right, and at 11 laps in, you wonder, like I said, is it fast all the time or is it just fast to fire off? But when a truck's able to exit that close on the exit like that, it shows that it's got some good drive off the corner.
Lawless Allen in the 1 truck, getting a little sideways with a little help from Connor Mozak in the 81. First truck start of the year for Lawless. He's running full-time in the ARCA series, so he's sharing the star truck for Tricon Garage.
Right back there's William Byron. Very experienced race car driver when it comes to everybody in this field. You know, he's got a couple cup wins. He knows how to get around this racetrack really well.
How much fun, Joey, just to come over here, jump in a truck every so often, and you only have to worry about winning.
That's a blast, right? You don't think about points. You don't think about anything. Oh, that went around.
Ryan Roulette into the wall.
That was Corey Heim that had caught the back of the field, and I think maybe caught the rear end of that 67 truck.
Ryan Roulette stopped on the track on the front stretch. Caution is out for the first time. 14 laps in. Another look at the incident. Ryan Roulette with damage on the nose.
Yeah, so caution's out then straight away, unfortunately. The back up behind the pace car now, and what an interesting start then. Very quick. Stage 1, that's going to be at 50 laps. Stage 2 is the same distance. Stage 3 will be 100 laps. Now, you can arguably get to the end of Stage 1 without a pit stop, same with Stage 2, but realistically, you're going to be looking for a one-stopper of green flag running, and that's going to be in stage number 3, and it's going to come thick and fast at you here tonight. So stand by, everybody watching, for a lot of action. Corey Heim leads by then from Time Majestic, Caden Honeycutt in 3rd, Chandler Smith 4th, Tanner Gray in 5th as well. But Ryan Roulette doing a roulette coming out of the final corner, spinning, and you saw when we were full screen actually on this driver map, he spun around and then we went back to full screen so you could watch him fall down the order with the full timing screen. Caution is out, no one heading down. Correction, there is someone heading down pit road. Presumably that will be, yeah, it is Ryan Roulette, the 67, who must come down pit road after a spin as well. It's a short track showdown. Don't forget there is $50,000 on the line here tonight. And if you don't know what we're talking about, we will explain it to you as well. $50,000 for the trip as well. What are we going to see? So TV picture's not actually helping anything here. You've probably got the best seat in the house watching here on JB Motorsports. As the field exit 3 and 4. And just begin to back up as well. Ryan Roulette's going to be head down. Frankie Munoz as well. Frankie, the 33, is down the pit lane as well. All the news about the new Malcolm in the middle. And they're recasting Dewey. How dare they? No, very much looking forward to when that comes back. But yeah, Frankie Munoz is into the pits. And he's stopped, as you can see on the driver tracker, the number 33. And he's now getting sent back out. The number 11 leads as we're still under caution then.
Tomorrow night, it's baseball night. Catch the Mets' newly minted superstar Juan Soto as he leads New York against Jose Altuve and the Astros. Or the Braves take on the Padres. It's baseball night in America, and it returns tomorrow at 7 Eastern only on Fox. Check the local listings for the game in your area. It's officially baseball season. As we take a look once again at why we are under caution for the first time.
Yeah, right here you see Corey Heim. And I think what happens here is a 67 truck. I think he's going to actually try to get out of the way for the leader of the race. And I don't believe Corey'd seen that part coming. I think he was going to try to turn underneath him. He was trying to keep that momentum. And as he lifted to get out of his way, it just... anticipation was a little bit off on that. So
there you see the 67 coming to pit road. Ryan Roulette.
Josh, what are you hearing on the leader?
Well, yeah, just a little bit more on Corey Heim. Despite being a past winner here at Martinsville, last year they weren't as good as they wanted to be. In fact, no laps led at Martinsville in either race. So he told me earlier today he had to go back to work, but it was him studying. He said maybe it's not the truck that needed to be better. It was me that needed to be better. Did a whole lot of studying, came up with some ideas from what he learned. And, hey, he's led 17 laps so far today, so way more than he led last year here, guys.
And that's so much of what Martinsville is. If you remember for years, right, Jeff Gordon was really strong here. Denny Hamlin's really strong. Now it's Ryan Blaney who's really strong here, right? We talk about Willie Byron, he's fast here. Chase Elliott's fast here. It seems like it's the same drivers every time you come here, right? Which means that there's something they have figured out on how to drive their car or truck, and not only how to drive it, but how to get the right balance and, you know, what you want to ask your crew chief to get out of your car. That is ultra important to figure out. And it seems like once they figure that out, you can win for a very long time. The dividend pays for a long, long time.
These guys have gone through the choose. You can see Corey Heim takes the bottom again. You expect to see that all night long, Joey, with the leader taking the bottom?
The leader's no-brainer, take the bottom. You know, second place, Ty Majeski, he takes the outside of the front row. I like that on old tires, and I also like that early in the race. Where that gets challenging, what if this was a green-white checker at the end of the race? Whole different ball game at that point. Right now, yeah, there's a little patience there. There's a little give and take.
Giving up that front row is hard, though, isn't it?
It's a really hard decision to make, yes.
Pace speed 35 miles an hour as they're side by side now. First restart of the night. Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, 45, Caden Honeycutt. Tries to hop out of line there and take him 3 wide. He tries to take second from Ty Majeski as they go side by side into turn 3.
45 is strong. He's going to make that move. Open the door down there for Tanner Gray in the 15. Can he squeeze in side of Majeski? Majeski's going to try to cut him off.
We talked about how Majeski's truck just doesn't fire off. You can see the back end of his truck. It's sideways. He's not able to get any rear lateral grip in that truck, and it's costing him positions right now.
Here you see Lane Riggs in that 34.
bringing his teammate Chandler Smith along as they're 34 and 38.
And there's the 81 of Mosak. He was so strong in practice earlier today. Wow.
See it.
How do you pick a winner in this place? I know Corey Haim's going to be the favorite, but golly, any of these guys can make moves toward the front.
You can see now, it seems like Majeski's truck is starting to come to him, but it's just tough, right? He bled a couple spots to get going. He's working his truck really hard right now, trying to fight on the outside of Tanner Gray.
Tanner Gray with another solid qualifying effort got him in this position.
It's really hard as a driver, too, to figure out how much to squeeze that guy, isn't it, Joey? Wondering if he's going to give you the fender or maybe you can squeeze him down and hurt his momentum on the exit.
Yeah, we say this every week with the truck series, still bodies, right? So, you know, fender rubs and those type of things are a real concern. But you see Majeski's
Lane
able
Riggs goes around. He was all over them, waiting to pounce, waiting to make a move. Not sure how he ended up going around. You see all the Goodyear.
I believe Mosak might have got him.
Here it is here. That'll bring out the second caution of the night. Around goes Lane Riggs.
Second caution then in the space of 24 laps. Still no lead changes. Corey Haim at the front now. But the good news is he's got back around and we should be able to restart this quite quickly. This is a quick yellow. The field doesn't need to be re-established. They've got the running order. This should be a simple run around and a simple change. We shall wait to see if that will be the case. 175 laps then remaining for the Boys and Girls Club 200 of the Bridge, the Blue Ridge. The Boys and Girls Club of the Blue Ridge 200. That's the full name of the title. The hashtag, as you can understand, is reduced. Otherwise it would be on our screens right now as well. But another yellow flag with 175 remaining. It's taking its time out there. Caden Honeycutt still in P2. Not much of a change in the running order of things. I thought there would be, you thought there would be, turns out there hasn't been. They've just sort of all stayed exactly the same inside their own deltas. Still, the racing will continue, and race control telling us it's going to be a quick caution, which is good news because there wasn't much that needs to be cleaned up. No carbon, nothing. Correction of going through a pit road. Riggs drops down into 34th and now dives into said pit lane as well for the mandatory checks. Yellow's still out here. So we'll get ready to come to the choose soon as well. Pace car still circulating. Would it be a nice opportunity to see if we can access the spotters radio as well? Something we can do. And I think shall do. Hopefully. That's my keyword to this. Still requires me having to use my phone mirroring settings. As you can see, Wi-Fi off. That's a great start, isn't it? So caution's out. 34 back in for double, long lap through. Just got to take it with ease then, as the atmosphere starts to build up. Who's else diving into the pit lane there? That's the 67 back in.
Welcome back to the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Blue Ridge 200. We are under caution for the second time in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Just before we went to break, this happened with Lane Riggs running fifth at the time.
He was up top and kind of cut toward the corner, and I think Connor Mosak was committed, and he ran in there and got into the side of Lane, turning him around. See right there. Probably just a miscommunication there, right, Joey?
Yeah, I mean, and Lane did open the door a little bit.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you look at that replay, Mozak was getting pushed as well from Chandler Smith. So like it's just a stack effect in there, and if you're not lined up bumper to bumper when you start stacking like that, someone's going to get dumped. And unfortunately, Lane took the bad end of that, I think because he left the door open a little bit.
Well, let's look at this 34 and make a note right now. On lap 28, he came to pit road, got those fresh tires. Now, if we run 10 laps and have a caution flag every 10 laps, he won't burn those tires up. Might he just stay out the rest of the way? I know it's outside of our fuel window, that's for sure. But under caution, it's 2-1 at least.
Right.
Might be worth a chance, huh?
He's got nothing to lose, right? So that's why they put him on. Why wouldn't you just put the set on and go for it? Now, a play for him possibly here with 20 laps to go in the stage, everyone's going to have to pit at some point. If you keep staying out, you will cycle to the leader. So maybe it's just don't go down a lap here in this next 20 laps. Save your tires to where you have something to race with possibly.
I've been hearing that a lot out of you guys. Let's just kind of take it easy until the stage ends, and then we'll go like heck.
Yeah. I mean, he's not going to get stage points at this point, right? So, and like I said, he'll cycle to the lead eventually.
Choosing time.
So now it's flipped around the other way. Honeycutt took the outside lane, and Majeski is now third. So that's the opposite of what they were in the last restart.
I love what you said about Majeski having problems on the short run. We know how good he's going to be on the long run. It'll be interesting with him taking the inside. Does that help him with this truck?
Yeah. And will he ever get a long run?
I was just going to say, we're 30 laps in. We've had 2 cautions already, and that includes the caution laps.
And we know this next run will not be a long run, right? 20 laps to go to the end of the stage. That's a short run at Martinsville. They go by really fast.
It's very crowded out there.
So good news for Lane Riggs. His truck is fine, no damage. Bad news is he's restarting 33rd. But Michael, to your point, he's going to put on a little bit of a show here.
Let's just make a note, see what happens with that cat.
Caden Honeycutt restarting on the front row for the first time tonight. Corey Heim holds serve where he's been all race long. Green flag in the air once again. Pretty orderly through 1 and 2. Connor Mozak in the 81. Watch the speed in that truck.
Yeah, the truck does seem really, really strong. He's able to get down to the bottom there. You see he's protecting the bottom too. He wants to make sure he keeps that.
Nice run off of 2 there by Honeycutt to grab the 2nd spot.
Chandler Smith there stuck on the outside.
Fast though, Jamie. He's able to hang right there with those guys.
That's a battle for 5th.
What about Ben Rhodes into the top 10 from the 20th position starting?
Riggs is already up 4 spots with those fresh tires.
Battles all over this little half-mile track.
It's unbelievable how close they are as they battle around this short track.
I don't think they're close. They're hitting each other. See this contact right here?
Leaning on each other.
And look what it's going to cost Chandler Smith when he lost his momentum. Daniel Hemrick looking to the bottom. You just got to go, man. This is a short race as we talked about. We got to go.
Fierce battle for 12th on the right side between Raja Caruth and Gio Ruggiero. Look at that.
Jake Garcia looking on in that 13 truck, and Matt Crafton, the veteran, slipping and sliding back there.
You see them just lean on each other into the corner.
Nice run off there.
Caruth with the advantage. He'll take that 12th spot.
Tyler Ankrum, a good truck in practice, didn't qualify well, being able to make some moves toward the front.
Ankrum 3 straight top 10 finishes coming into tonight. They've been on a roll.
Nice to see these guys racing orderly.
You said that a little soon.
Yeah, I know, Joey. That's my fault. What about Stuart Friesen? Putting his truck ahead of the fast-moving Ben Rhodes.
Just 12 laps remaining in stage 1. Corey Heim continues to lead over Caden Honeycutt, Ty Majeski, Connor Mozak, and Tanner Gray, the top 5.
There's that fast number 11 truck.
It's a good looking truck. He's got the white fire suit, the white helmet to match.
And he's got white speed. Like, this thing is just lightning fast. Was all day today.
How crazy was the end of that race last week where his truck, he was lights out. He started on pole, won both stages, led the most laps, and then his truck starts cutting out when Kyle Larson is on the move.
Oh, you got to feel for him. He was leading the race, won. Truck shuts off, loses the lead, drives back to the lead, truck cuts off again, loses the lead, and does it again. It just kept happening, and eventually he lost too much time with that, and Kyle Larson was just ripping the wall and ultimately lost the race. So I believe he would have won the race, though, last week if they weren't having those electrical issues in the truck.
Or maybe just one less one of those electrical problems.
That might have been, too.
So it was like that $5 part you always hear about that ruins your night. I talked to Scott Cipodelli, his crew chief, and he said it was a clamp that holds the wire that goes to the starter. It had popped off, so the wire was kind of floating around, got too close, got overheated, melted, and he was cutting in and out.
And to make it even worse, he ran the Xfinity race the next day and had a mechanical issue there as well. It's like, oh. He had a rough week. He's making up for it right now, though.
He was so good. He still finished 3rd, Joey, even with those issues. Got a slow truck.
Norm Benning making his way to pit road.
What's wrong? Shut off.
Oh, Norm, 73 years old, doing it for the passion. He loves this truck series. He's got an issue.
I like this 38 truck early in the going. He's been able to make some moves. They had to stop early in practice and work on it. Didn't exactly like the way it was feeling, and now he seems to have it all together.
It's interesting to see how much Tanner Gray was able to pull away on the exit of the corner. 2 completely different trucks you can see there. It's one can roll the center well, and the other one apparently can launch off the corner well.
I know this is a difficult question to answer. Would you rather have one that cuts the center or that you can get your foot down and really drive up off?
Michael, I'd rather have both.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it's going to take to win here. You got to have both.
Do you think Corey Heim has both right now?
That's what he's got. That's why he's a 1.5 seconds ahead, just chilling at the moment. But, you know, that's one thing about this race. Yeah, he may be leading the race right now. At some point, someone's going to do a different strategy than what Corey Heim and Scott Cipodelli do, and that truck won't be in the lead. And it's going to be how he manages the race to get back there when it matters at the end.
It was like when I interviewed him for the race. He said that we're going to be in the back at some point. We know that. And good call, Joey. You just got to be ready for it and figure out how to go about working your way through the field.
It's like 2 weeks ago for Corey Heim at Las Vegas. He dropped back to the rear twice. He started back there, then he went to the back because he had a speeding penalty. I think he passed like 46 trucks that night. Didn't make it easy on himself. Going around Cody Dennison.
Check out those brakes on the 34. Used to you would be concerned about this, Joey, but his are glowing a little bit more than the other trucks, and I know he's coming through traffic. Is that a concern?
Unless they get really red. I think he's okay right now. But, you know, Lane Riggs, we talked about, he put tires on, right? So he's got a little bit newer tires than everybody. He spun out there in one of those early cautions. And it looks like to me like he's trying to move through the field as he drove up the 20th here.
He will definitely stay out here. This stage coming to an end.
Final lap of stage 1. Last week, Corey Heim picked up his first and then his second stage win of this season. As he works his way around traffic, green and white checker flag in the air. Corey Heim wins stage 1 here at Martinsville. Corey Heim's 3rd stage win at Martinsville. Won both stages and won the race back in 23. Can he do it again tonight?
That is the question as we come to the end then of stage number 1. Moving to stage 2, another 50 laps ahead of us. And just, by the way, we had 2 cautions in that first stage. It's taken us 25 minutes, not long at all, to get this one. A nice quick one here as coming through. So Corey Heim wins the opening stage here at Martinsville. Heim, Honeycutt, Majestic, Mozak, Gray, Smith, Hemrick, Allen, Byron, all down in there as well. And then Fraser completes out your top 10 for stage points as well. So let's just take a look then at how this race is shaping up so far. 3 cautions so far as well, not too bad. Only a couple of causes. They've kept it rather smooth. Race has been going for 26 minutes. Average speed of about 40 miles an hour as well. 148 laps to go, as you can see. One car has gone behind the wall, sadly, in this one. But that is the number 6 that has gone behind the wall. But we still have 148 laps remaining. And hopefully it's going to be a entertaining race and an entertaining strategy as we switch back from the graphic. Points as they run well on the side there as well. But 2 cars behind the wall now. It's the 22 of Alan Waller has also gone behind the wall. Norm, as you heard as well from Jamie Little, has also gone behind the wall with problems. Frankie Munoz will be the free pass. He's the only one on the lap down in 31st position. So the field will reorganise and we'll get ready for the start of stage 2 coming up. And I can see, right, we're zooming in, the reason for the 22 going behind the wall is brakes on fire. They're having to put a fire extinguisher onto the brakes. We've just seen from our Fox cameras zooming in here on the monitor we've got up here in the commentary booth. So that is not good. But then we had a lot of cautions last year, a lot of retirements, mainly because of brake failure here last year in both the spring and the autumn race. Okay, let's send it back up to Fox Sports and the FS1 booth with 147 laps to go. Corey Heim leads the way and is the winner of stage number 1 of the NASCAR Truck Series. And let's hope that stage 2 coming up is just as exciting. Also time for pit stops, and that's where we're going to see them coming in shortly as Munoz has been released and will now take the free pass and will rejoin the back of the field. Back up to Fox.
Round 1 of the college basketball crown starts Monday on FS1 with Utah versus Butler at 3 Eastern. It's George Washington and Boise State at 5:30, Nebraska, Arizona State at 8:30, and Georgetown, Washington at 11. The college basketball crown, that's Monday, only on FS1. All right, just like that, stage 1 is in the books. Pit road is open, and they are coming your way, Caitlin.
They certainly are. A lot of anticipation for Luke Baldwin, that 66 truck. He's saying right now it is tight. Also, the motor is running hot, so they're going to take all the tape off of that front grille, as well as a wedge, track bar, and air adjustment for Luke.
A lot of adjustments. You see the wedge wrench right there. Raja Karuth. A lot of adjustments here, Joey.
Wedge, track bar, and air pressure for Baldwin. I mean, that's all you got.
Everything you can do.
I mean, that's all you got for changes. So,
you see some of the tape
obviously
coming
not
off.
very happy with this truck. So the majority of the leaders,
most of our top 10,
Michael, yeah, they all stayed out, which means they're probably going to try to get their stage points here in the second stage. These trucks here are either going to move forward with their new tires in the second stage, or this might possibly be the one and done, where it's pit once, forget about it. We're going to try to cycle ourselves to the front and maintain.
Corey Heim stayed out, the 2-time winner in 2025, looking for his second win at Martinsville.
Yep, stayed out and has kept the lead of the race. A sort of smart thing to do, to be fair, early on, because this track you don't need to pit as often as we've tried to explain to you throughout the night. So, yeah, not too bad. How's everybody enjoying it over there watching on JB Motorsports? We really hope you enjoy our coverage here. And we're glad that you're with us. And make sure to stick around. Xfinity coming your way tomorrow. Myself and Jack in the booth. Cup Series Sunday, myself. I'll be joining at stage 2. And it'll be JT and Jack in the first half as well, as I'll be on MotoGP's coverage with Mallory Dobbs, the Moto America and WCR champion, WCR racer as well. So, already 8 laps down. Go green with 10, so it's a 40-lap dash. Should be quite quick, and then realistically 50 minutes plus another 50 for stage 3. Should really take 50 minutes in maximum. A few cars coming down pit road. That's the 67, Ryan Roulette, who caused the first caution of the night. Still coming back out and changing over. Kind of knew that he would be in a couple of problems early on. Pace car coming into turns 1 and 2. Longer stage breaks because of the pit stop, making sure that the track is okay. We'll get the green shortly, and then we will be good to go. We will try and have the officials radio, but it's locked off for us for tonight for some reason. Maybe it's only a cup thing. Reminder, when we get to Bristol in a couple of weeks' time, 2 weeks, Xfinity, Truck and Cup all live with track camera. Can't wait for that. It's our best race of the year to bring the action to you here on JB Motorsports. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, cars readying up. Pace car still got its lights on. Let's head back to Fox.
MLB is heading to Bristol. Tickets for the MLB Speedway Classic presented by BuildSubmarines.com are on sale now. Witness history as the Atlanta Braves face off against the Cincinnati Reds, Mikey, and that is where you were.
Oh, what a day. I got to be in the parade. I was an honorary Grand Marshal, walked out and shared the lineup with the other team. So much energy, so much excitement, not only for the Reds season this year, but for this event. I mean, they're going to put a baseball diamond on the Bristol Motor Speedway. Go to bristolmotorspeedway.com to learn about how to get tickets, but what an event it's going to be.
Oh, it's going to be awesome, right? I mean, what an incredible stadium Bristol is, right? I mean, the racetrack is incredible, but the fact that you can hold so many people in there and do a lot of different things in there is so neat. The last great Coliseum.
It's the last great Coliseum.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, so I was there when they announced the whole deal. They had a couple of the players come out, and they had the diamond kind of drawn up so you could get a feel for it. I'm like, this is pit road right here, and they're going to be playing baseball. Pretty cool and neat for you, Michael, that you got to be there on opening day.
Yeah, the energy for the Reds this year with Terry Francona being their new manager, and a lot of great players have joined the team, and it's going to be a great season for the Reds. It's been a while since they've been to the World Series or the playoffs. Maybe they can straighten it all out this year.
Pretty cool the things that they've done, especially at Bristol Motor Speedway. Football game, they brought in dirt for a dirt race. Now they're going to have a baseball game.
Do it all. I love it. So we got a restart coming up here. The majority of trucks have stayed out, so they're going to be on their 50 lappers.
The top 11 stayed out, so from 12th on back is where the tires start. So I don't expect them to just charge through this first 10, do you?
I don't believe so. I mean, the tires are going to be helpful, no doubt, but you're going to have room to use those tires. And if it's stacked 2 by 2 by 2, how are you going to make any time? So once a single file's out, look for those guys with the tires to start moving forward.
So Corey Heim on the inside, Caden Honeycutt on the outside. Heim has led every lap so far in this race. Guys, we were talking about Lane Riggs, who restarted in the back. He's up to 14th.
See that black truck there on the outside behind the white number 7. That's Riggs, and you called it, Joe. Oh, a little bit sideways there. You called it 2 by 2. Things are stacked up.
But you give this 5, 6, 7 laps, it starts to single out, and then those trucks with the tires, they're going to start moving. Their air pressures will start coming up, and that grip, they got more grip. There's no doubt. I don't know how much tire fall off there is, but they're going to have a little bit newer tires for sure. That's going to help them.
Well, I'll tell you one fact. On lap 34, Corey Heim ran the fastest lap of this race on 34-lap tires. Granted, many of those were costly, but he still ran his fastest lap that late into the run. Whoa, squeeze job.
I don't know if there was contact there with Raja Karuth and Lane.
Look at them stacked up.
So remember, Lane Riggs, now he pitted on lap 27 or 28. So he's got a little bit newer tires in the trucks he's trying to catch, but he also has brand new tires on all the trucks directly behind him.
Daniel Hemrick battling Chandler Smith on the right for 6th.
Here you see Willie B squeezing into the top 10, making his presence known.
Haven't talked about him since the start of the race.
Joey might have to call him back up and put some more pressure on him.
Give him time.
Yes.
Give him time. Willie is one of those drivers that just kind of like just hangs and hangs. The next thing you know, you're like, huh.
There he is.
He's winning. He's gonna win, huh? You know, like it's just one of those very below the radar. Just runs his race, and it works for him.
Luke Baldwin in the 66 doing a great job. Came down pit road, got those tires. He's in 14th right now. First one on new tires.
This kid's impressive. It started this afternoon in practice with so much speed, and now he's worked his way up toward the top 10. I like what I'm seeing, Joey.
Yeah, like he can carry that speed on the exit like that, right on the back bumper of Ben Rhodes, and that's his teammate. And you know, he's young, and how hard do I push? What do I do? Can't open the door too much when someone's too close to you, right? Raja Chris saw that opportunity to say, maybe I can gain a spot here if you're going to open the door like that.
I think maybe Luke laid off the 99 after he bumped him, and then he gets run into. That's Martinsville, isn't it? You just breathe it for a second, and you're going to have company.
You can't waste too much time through the field. Like you gotta go, right? When you catch someone, you gotta try to pass them as quickly as possible, because once they get stacked on you all the way back, you can't move up the racetrack to try to gain a run to get underneath them on the exit, and it makes the pass even harder. So if you can do it quickly when you first get there, life's a lot easier.
And looking in that mirror is hard here. You know, it's just such a quick run down that front straightaway. You got to really focus on what's ahead of you, and so if you got them stacked up behind you, that's very difficult.
See Matt Gould in the 44 making just his 3rd truck start. His dad is Phil Gould, who is the crew chief for Caden Honeycutt, his teammate, that's running 2nd right now. So the family dynamic, what a nice kid. Talked to Matt earlier. He's in the shop all the time, learning slowly how to build these trucks, how to respect the trucks, Joey. So when he gets that opportunity behind the wheel, he has so much knowledge.
I don't know about if my dad was my crew chief. I know he's not, but he's on another thing. But you imagine if it was a father-son crew chief driver duo? I know that happens a lot as kids grow up, right? As you're racing with your dad going to the racetrack. But I feel like once you get to this level, that would be I mean, I love my dad. I think it would change a lot, though, if we had to work together.
What about the 66 truck? He got around Ben Rhodes, and now he's putting the move on the 7 of Corey Day. Kaylin, this thing is rolling.
It certainly is, and I had a chance to talk with him earlier today just about making his Truck Series debut. He said, I'm living out a childhood dream. I grew up watching races here, was a fan of this place just like everyone else, but he said, I've also had a lot of good people in my corner who've been helping me learn the tricks of Martinsville. His teammate, Ty Majeski, as well as former Cup Series champion Ryan Blaney, have been some of the drivers helping Luke this weekend. Jamie?
Yeah, Luke doing a great job. As you were talking, Caitlin, he picked up that 12th spot, so he is doing nothing but going forward, doing all things right so far.
Oh, you brought up Ryan Blaney. You know, there's such a relationship with the Baldwin family in the Blaney family, giving Ryan an opportunity early in his career driving one of Tommy's Xfinity cars. Dave drove for Tommy, and Michael and I were laughing before the race that we think Luke was just a baby when Ryan made his first Cup start. You know, I think he was 3 or 4 years old, so kind of crazy to see all this happen.
It was neat seeing Ryan down there talking to Luke before the start of the race.
It's got to put a big smile on Blaney's face, seeing the success he's having in this race. You see battle between Matt Crafton, Jack Wood. There's Blaney.
There's Luke. Look at that smile, talking to Blaney. It's been a long day for this young man. The garage opened at 9 this morning. All the drivers and teams came in, and then they had practice, qualifying, had time to think about it for a few hours, and then here we are racing. So long day for this young man. Corey Heim, meanwhile, about a 1.5-second lead over Caden Honeycutt. He's led every lap. We're going to step aside. You won't miss a thing.
Yeah, they'll go side by side. We, on the other hand, have the ability to keep on with TV pictures. Yeah, and keep on with it. Apologies for the tracker. It's having some issues. It's moving really slowly, but it's coming from the app built in. The app is on Ethernet connection, so I don't know why it's having problems. But either way, 120 laps to go then. Corey Heim leading the way. As well, Caden Honeycutt in second, the gap 1.3 seconds. We've got 19 laps of stage 2 remaining. It's just ticking down one by one. Is that Ryan Roulette down the pit lane again? It is, yeah, 11 laps down he is. Just flying down the pit lane. The 34 going to the inside, making a move. As Lane Riggs making a move on Corey Day. Still side by side as they come over the control line. And Ben Rhodes as well involved in this little drama in 16th place, so 14, 15, 16 battling together. There is now finally our driver tracker, which we can cut to when on our break, so we all get the best view picture in the house. The 34 is now ahead of the 99. There's the 11, Corey Heim leading the way. Gap now up to 1.6. The 19 a Hemrick, touching the back of Tanner Gray as well. And Gray in 5th position with Hemrick in 6th. Just a light touch on the front bumper. 77, 91, 88 and the 17 battling together. The 67 nearly takes out the 44, and a tap from the 88 to 91. That 67 of Ryan Roulette, who caused the first caution of the night, is certainly causing a lot of problems out here in this stage. Getting right in the middle of things, and yeah, not going well at all. 9's in trouble as well out there.
Welcome back to NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Racing from Martinsville. We have beaten and banging everything you guys set up in the pre-show, talking about what we were going to see.
As you see it right here in front of us, it's just, you know, this has been the longest run we've seen. Only 15 laps to go, and the stage has gone green so far the whole stage. And, you know, the comers and goers, as tires fall, you got new guys with tires. It's just everyone's starting to merge together, and it's been really fun to watch.
Well, Grant Enfinger, haven't talked much about him. He's in 22nd. Let's listen to his radio.
Yeah, we're pretty young. Just don't understand it. 2 weeks in a row we felt good about practice, and then the race we sucked. You put the front to it? Is that what he's battling, you think? I don't know.
That's a sidebar discussion there. Grant wasn't listening to that.
Yeah, there's channel 2 a lot of times where the spotter and the crew chief may be talking to each other about what they see, and, you know, try to gain some more information for their crew chief to make the right adjustments.
But it sounds a lot like Grant last year at this race. Michael, this morning he told me in the garage they were junk. He said the driver was bad, the truck setup was bad. We got a little better in the fall. Hopefully we're better this time. And it doesn't sound like they've moved that needle at all.
You said it, Joey. There's only 12 laps left in this stage. It's flown by. We talked about how quick things were going to happen here tonight, and this is a great example of that.
Well, Lane Riggs is kind of flattened out there back in 15. Josh, what are you hearing?
Well, yeah, guys, and I talked to Lane Riggs earlier, and I asked him about coming to short tracks where he's been so good. And he told me, look, man, I know I'm considered the short track guy, but I hate coming to this place. I dread it because you can have speed, and then someone can run into you and knock off your whole day, and that's exactly what happened to him in stage number 1. Now, of course, they put on those fresh tires. He's been carving his way through the field. Happy with this truck. He wasn't in practice earlier today, but he told me, I know when it comes to nighttime, this truck is going to be good. It's coming alive. He's making moves, but of course, what he talked about earlier with me came to fruition in that stage 1.
Thanks, Josh. Great battle for 11th between Baldwin and Stuart Friesen.
There's something you see on Stuart Friesen's truck and Lane Riggs. The brake temperature in those rotors are ridiculously hot.
I mean, it's crazy. The tires are holding up.
Well, there's a lot of concern, right? You can blow out a bead, right, on the tire. It can melt it basically and cut down a right front tire. The other piece of it is that's just transferring heat into the tire. So your tires are warmer, it's gaining more air pressure, and nothing good is happening. for him right now when your brakes are that hot.
And that's what happens in a long run. You start to see the weaknesses of your truck, and you've got to be able to manage those weaknesses. His is balanced pretty nicely there. You see a lot of heat in the back as well.
Yeah, but I mean, to your point, Michael, you're going with this is your weakness start to show up on the long haul, and it starts to snowball as well, right? Whatever happens in your truck, if you're fighting tight or you're fighting loose, as the run goes, it's just the conditions will get worse and worse and worse, and the trucks that handle it best and the drivers that can manage that the best will start to migrate to the front. You see the rubber starting to lay down the racetrack here as well, starting to lay down a good amount of rubber.
We have a nice long green flag run going here. It's not typically something we see, as time has told us. The average is what, 10 green flag laps before a caution?
We were hitting that average right on until this run.
So far, this is only the second time we've been caution-free at Martinsville in Stage 2. So you're seeing something unique here, as there you see Grant Enfinger battling with Gio.
Grant kind of did him a favor right there. Gio really kind of squeezed it down there and wanted to be able to get cleared and get down. And Grant, I think, realizes he's not having the best of days, and maybe doesn't want to make him a lot of enemies at the moment.
You're not missing anything up front. Corey Heim continues to lead. 96 laps and counting. There he is right there. This is the most laps he's ever led in a truck race in 69 starts. Surprising, considering I feel like he's had so many dominating performances.
Tony there in the 5 truck riding her. She's just now gone a lap down, been competitive in this race. She's currently the first truck a lap down. If Corey doesn't get anyone else, she'll become the free pass.
You know, and we talked about this, you know, as we get to 3 to go, coming to 2 to go in the stage. Corey Heim, yeah, looks dominant right now. Got a nice 2.5-second lead. I don't think all these trucks are going to pit, and he's going to have to pit. And he's going to get buried into the pack, and then what has that truck got in it? Can he keep it in one piece? Because the patience are going to be out the window. The bumping and banging will just continue to become more and more. Can he keep it in one piece?
There's Norm Benning back on the road, and Matt Mills like seeing that. He threw a bit of a pick there on Heim. Oh no, Tony Breidinger's pulling for Matt Mills in that 42 not to go a lap down, so she will get the free pass. See if Matt can hold off Corey.
Final lap of stage 2, and Corey Heim picks up the win. This is the 4th straight Martinsville race. The drivers swept stages 1 and 2. And the last 3 went on to win the race. So everything is coming up roses so far for the man we call Heim Time.
Heim Time wins stage number 2, and now we're into 99 to go. Stage 3 will be 100 laps in total. Anybody has any clue what's going on with my driver tracker? Send it on a postcard, would you? I have absolutely not got a Scooby. We're going to try and reset it in the break now, as we have the racing action remaining. What on earth's going on with our timing screen? It seems like the laps to go wants to hide. What's happened to our systems out here tonight? It seems to be absolutely impossible trying to work it all in together. There we go. So, 99 to go, and Norm has left the pit lane. Hey, Norm's back out there, everybody. There is some good news after all out here tonight. No, driver track is still yo-yoing around like a pinball machine. And we have reset it. I have never seen this before. Try closing the app and reinstalling with it to go. So there's the 24 as it comes in. It seems turning the app on and off has not done a thing. It's not fixed it either. Well, this is a pickle. We're in there right now. As we are under the caution, the yellow comes back out for the 2nd time tonight. It's been an okay. Oh, hang on. Timings are back. Fantastic news. They fixed it under the caution. So Corey Heim leading then. I think it was delayed by a number of laps and it needed the caution to sort of sync back up and reset itself. Still, the only caution we had really at the start, we had 4 cautions, 2 for stage breaks and 2 for actual spins on the circuit. It's been a cool, calm, fascinating race really, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we're going to have at the end of it as finally our driver tracker calms down out here with the 11 leading. 96 to go here for the boys and girls of the Blue Ridge 200. Anyone officially out of the race yet? That's our question of the hour. 67 is behind the wall. Full caution, as you can see for comments. Corey Heim currently leading by 19 points if things stay where they are as we return to Fox.
Saturday, catch all the on-track action from Martinsville with the Cup Series at 2 p.m. Eastern on Prime and the NASCAR Xfinity Series at 5 p.m. Eastern on the CW.
Gotta love the triple header weekend here at Martinsville. Today has been awesome. Perfect weather for the Truck Series. And just like that, we are halfway into the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. It's been all about Corey Heim, and he's going to have to pit here with 96 laps to go. Pit road should be open next time by.
And this is the setup. This is the setup for the rest of the race. What are other teams and crew chiefs willing to do for strategy to beat the 11 of Corey Heim? He's been unstoppable. You can't let him be in the lead anymore. You've got to give him a challenge because he is dominant right now.
Let's see how many people follow him to pit road as they make their way down the back straightaway. There goes Heim down low.
One question mark is Lane Riggs. He had pitted on lap 27 after he went around. So does he pit? Pit road is open. They're coming your way, Caitlin.
Yeah, Ty Majeski pretty frustrated on the radio saying, I need everything. Turn in the center, security on throttle. As crew chief Joe Shear Jr. said, we just missed it a bit here today. They're making adjustments to track bar, 4 tires, and fuel. Caden Honeycutt, who was second in both stages so far, saying, I got tight at the end of the run in those last 10 laps. Air pressure adjustment for the 45. Josh.
For the 38 of Chandler Smith, he said he needs some help with that truck as well. Needs more turn in the corner and more drive, so they're going to help him out with some adjustments. As for Corey Heim, who has swept the stages so far, said in traffic that truck is way too hot, and plus it got tight as the rubber laid down. They're going to free him up just a tad with a wedge adjustment.
Waiting on fuel in the 11 truck.
He'll win the race off pit road. A couple guys stayed out.
The beauty of being in that #1 pit box.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, a lot more trucks pitted here than I thought would. I'm not sure how many stayed out yet, but it definitely looks like Heim's not gonna be buried that much.
We'll sort things out as we step aside. Corey Heim, 1 stage remaining. Can he pick up his 3rd win of the season?
So Noel Benning is 55 laps down in this race, but will still continue on. Ryan Willett is behind the wall. Alan Waller is 25 laps down. The free pass we're going to... Ooh, who's it going to go to? I would say it will be Justin Cowell, as Frankie Muniz had it last time by. So, at least 3 laps until we head back to green flag running. Not too bad at all. 93 to go. Just for you back at home, we've been running for 55 minutes. That's it, just 55 minutes. It really has been quite quick to get through 2 stages here tonight. Not many cautions, a few brake problems, but they've been cool. And we might be done in about 45 minutes to an hour. Not too bad at all, is it? The rate we are going, we're flying through these stages. As I bring the microphone a bit closer to me because I'm on a radio mic. Warming the tyres up. Don't want to warm them up too much though, because the brake, as they were talking about over at Fox with Jamie, Joey and Michael, the brake discs here glow tremendously, and that is gaining the traction in. So the brakes sort of warm the tyres up for you as the race goes on. Which is sort of a benefit because as the night draws in here, the artificial lights taken over, the sunset. It's going to be quite an interesting run as we get ready. Choose coming up soon, and the start of Stage 3 for the Truck Series, 5th round of the championship, coming up, and the dash for $50,000. Okay, let's send it back upstairs then to Fox Sports as we get ready to choose and restart this race as we come to lap 110. 4 cautions, 1 lead change. It's Raj Kuruth who takes the lead. Matt Crafton is in 2nd, Jack Wood in 3rd, and the winner of the 2 stages of Corey Heim is down in 8th position. Let's head back to Fox.
Nobody starts telling these kids at 12 and 13, respect. Respect your equipment, respect that other driver, and respect his ability. You know what I mean? Because if you race him that way, he's going to race you that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It has snowballed to where that noise just gets louder every year.
Yeah.
People think it's okay to dive into the last corner and take somebody out. People think it's okay to make it 6 wide where it should be 2 wide. You know,
Right.
People think it's okay. And they think the fans love it and they think it's okay, but it's not okay.
Join Kevin Harvick every Tuesday and Thursday. Is this the best podcast in NASCAR? You'll have to tune in and see. It's Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour presented by Echo Park Automotive. Well, Kayla Mincy is the hostess with the mostest of the Kevin Harvick podcast. What are you hearing on Ty Majeski?
Well, we were just listening there about respect, that conversation with Kevin and Kyle, and I talked to Ty Majeski earlier. He said, you know, I run the rookie meeting as the defending champion. I said, I looked around and I saw a lot of new faces, many people making their Truck Series debut tonight, a lot of inexperience in the field. So I just advised the guys, hey, if it's not your day, I'm not asking you to pull over, but just show some respect as you would want that respect returned. So trying to give a little advice to the more inexperienced racers here tonight in the field. Jamie?
Yeah, what do you think, Joey?
What an interesting position to be put in as an active driver to lead a rookie meeting, right? Like, I'm gonna race you guys tonight, and just stay on my way. Which is just I wouldn't know what to say. But I mean, I'm glad NASCAR does that, and there's an experienced driver of some sort in there, because someone's got to teach them the ways and the things to look out for, and even sometimes it's even the dumb stuff that you just take for granted that you assume people know, like where to pull into the garage and those type of things. It's nice to have somebody tell you that stuff for the first time.
All right, so we have a new look on the front row. It's Raja Karuth, Matt Crafton, Corey Heim back in the 3rd row. Raja Karuth with a monster restart.
Whoa. Look at that land rush into turn 1. Matt Crafton's going to be able to clear Jack Wood.
What a big move by Connor Mosak back there. 3 wide into turn 3.
Chandler Smith on the outside. Dawson Cram right up the inside.
Something's wrong with the 26. That thing is not going down the straightaway. It's not going at all anywhere.
Dawson Sutton checked that in the 26.
He was one of the guys that stayed out there, and he was the last guy that's in line that stayed out, and I think those tires are just eating him up. Look at that jam move up the middle there. Chandler Smith takes a spot. It's all take right now, isn't it?
Oh, it's 3 wide battles. Every time we cut to a different shot, it's 3 wide.
Contact.
Oh, no.
And the 66 goes around. Luke Baldwin was having such a good night.
Down the lead lap here.
I think it's just an example. He got in there and couldn't.
Backed up, or kind of high-sided on the curb.
Couldn't do anything with it other than just spin the truck around. I think he tried to stay out of the side of the truck that was on his outside.
Quickly, stay there.
Baldwin was back in 20th when this happened. 3 wide, up over the curb, and around he goes.
Caution, back out then. Seems we can't even last 5 minutes. Anyway. That's our first caution for an actual accident. in around about an hour. So it's not, well, actually within about 45 minutes, let's be honest. Not bad then in total, but still, yellows tend to breed yellows, and that's the way the yellows flag has come out here tonight. We shall hold back, we shall have patience, and we shall remain calm. That's the best way to go about these things here tonight. Still, no overtaking at the front, still one lead change. That's impressive. We thought there would be numerous at the front. Jake Garcia, Dawson Sutton, Spencer Boyd, Frankie Munoz, Luke Baldwin. Ryan Roulette has to come down pit road anyway because he's behind the wall. Jake Garcia, they're still in. So a few drivers taking this opportunity to take that pit stop. 6-6 though, Luke Baldwin has to come in because he spun round. So a few cars coming down pit road. Now you can't mathematically make your one stop of stage 3 this early and pray for an amount of cautions and then just sort of go further on and see what you can bring. So we shall see if this is an attempt to bring in a charge through the field. But they're going to drop to the back. Caruth leads, Crafton, Wood, Heim back up to 4th as the field moves around. Very interesting strategy coming then as the 76 comes down pit road to Spencer Boyd. Let's send it back upstairs to Fox.
Welcome back to the Boys and Girls Clubs of the Blue Ridge 200. Under caution for the 5th time for this incident involving Luke Baldwin in the 66.
Yeah, right here you see Luke on the bottom. He's 3 wide. And what happens on these restarts a lot is there's a stack effect as they go into the corner. Everyone's slowing down, and I just think Luke didn't do the stacking part that well as everybody was checking up on the bottom. And once you're getting in there too far, he's like, oh, I can't stop. I'm on the brakes, all I got. And there was just no room.
And I don't think he wanted to use the 7-up. You know, he didn't want to get into Corey Day and just take him out. So he tried to do everything he could to avoid that up on the curb into the side of the 7, and around he went.
Yeah, this is not intentional, obviously. This is, you know, first time in a truck at Martinsville. There's some things that just happen, right? And those stacks into the corners on restarts, you know, especially or right around a restart when everyone's near each other. You got to be ready for that part. Lesson learned. It's got a truck that's still in one piece. You move on, you keep learning for the rest of the race.
Choosing time as we have 81 laps to go here.
Welcome to row number 2, Corey Heim. And I don't think that's great news for row number 1.
Well, we have a driver change in the 22 truck. Josh, what's happening there?
Well, yeah, and I just caught up with the team. It turns out that AJ Waller, who started in this race, got sick, had to get out of the truck. So Josh Rayom, who's the crew chief for this team, took over. He is now behind the wheel. A tough break for AJ. I talked to him before the race. Really excited. This is a kid that was a cancer survivor, making his first career truck start. Unfortunately, not able to finish it.
Hate to see that for him. But glad that Josh Rayom is able to jump behind the wheel. You don't hear about a crew chief taking over the reins mid-race very often.
No. So you hope he feels better. If he's feeling sick, you want him to feel better. I know there's times that the crew chiefs want to get behind the wheel.
You'd think they know more about it than the drivers do at times too, don't you?
Corey Heim has led 106 laps tonight. Raja Caruth, the only other leader tonight. 14 laps and counting. Green flag back in the air. Great restart once again. Look at Jack Wood right up there next to Matt Crafton.
Yeah, Matt Crafton just did not go up through the gears there.
But man, what a runoff.
Corey Heim, 3 wide into turn 3. That's how you do it.
Yeah, that's how you do it. He's going to get these spots very quickly. He's got those tires, right? He's able to get the run and do something with it.
Wow.
And this is not good for the rest of the field, Michael.
What a truck.
Ty Majeski, he's been struggling on the short run.
But he still has tires, so these trucks that he's passing, even though his short runs haven't been that good, and really, honestly, his long run wasn't that great. Either that they're just fighting with that truck. Maybe these adjustments have helped, and he can stay close enough to Corey Heim late race restart. You never know what can happen.
Grant Enfinger right there in the 9 truck, up to 7th. We heard him complaining about how bad they were.
This is going to be short work. I think Corey Heim's going to make of Raja. Just so fast, pressure tires, everything in the world going for that 11 truck.
Yeah, short and sweet. That's going to be quick and easy for him. Then he's just going to try to manage his truck from there, manage the tires.
Oh, Jack Wood off the pace.
Looks like something's wrong with him and his teammate. The 81 of Connor Mozak just called for a restart violation, jumping out of line too soon. He'll drop to the tail end.
Feel like you got a tire down, or you good?
Fender rub?
Left front. Yes,
yeah.
Yes, ma'am. You see the scrubbing that's been.
We got a rod, it's not down. I just got jumped.
He's been through it tonight, boys.
That truck looks like it went through war.
That almost describes Martinsville, isn't it?
The left front of that thing is like pancaked. So he got door slammed really hard. I'm not sure where this happened.
3 wide.
There you go.
Never works too good. Grant Enfinger is a squeeze play.
Yeah, that's where a lot of that damage came from.
And Riggs back there digging. Lane Riggs with his early incident when he went around, pitted early. He's up to 10th.
The 81 has got a penalty, Connor Mozak, for an improper restart.
Pace with Corey Heim. You talked about a restart violation. Jamie Mozak has served his penalty down pit road. We'll see what NASCAR saw here. You can't pull to the inside. Explain that one to me, Joey. You're a race car driver.
I've just been called for this here recently. And
yes, you did.
Gosh, that one looks close too, guys. Apparently this is a hot topic at the moment, and they're calling the close ones.
Well,
so
the race directors are saying every week, Joey, that they're warning you guys in the meetings. That's something they're watching, are these restarts.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes, like, there's been times that's been fine, right? And it seems like for whatever reason they're calling the close ones right now. So you know that, and you move on.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Corey Heim is back to the point, guys. Raja Kruta slipped back to 3rd. Ty Majeski, though, is coming on. He's up to 2nd.
Yeah, he was just a little less than a half a tenth slower last time by than Heim. So these two are starting to pick up the pace.
All right, if you're Ty Majeski right now, you're a 2nd back, a little bit over a 2nd back, 70 to go. I'm probably chilling at this moment, Michael. I don't think I'm going for it right now. I'm going to try to save my tires. I got a long run ahead of me. If it does run green, 70 laps is a long time. But most likely I'm going to get a caution.
Yeah.
And I'll have him right next to me.
Well, and I think we're seeing, looking at these lap times, lap after lap, that last time by they ran the same time. I think he's improved this 98 truck when they made their pit stop and got those tires, because he's able to keep pace. That's about the distance he lost when he after the restart, but now he's starting to rally.
But this is where you got to be a smart racer. And you think about it, okay, if I'm just matching his pace, I'm never going to catch him. I'm never going to pass him. So you got to think the smart way.
Look at this.
Spencer Boyd in that 76 getting aggressive.
Yeah, he is.
We saw the 66 of Luke Baldwin into the back of the truck ahead of him, and Boyd tried to take advantage of that.
That's for 18th spot. Let's listen in on Jack Wood's radio from the 91.
I don't know why or what the issue is with the 9, but I promise you when the caution comes out, I may concede it to me. I'm going to put a green. That's the 4th time he's this kid. I'm tired of that.
Well, I'm not really sure who was doing all the swearing. I could not tell. But they're not happy with the 9, Joey.
Easy on the language, hey. I mean, they're very upset about that. And I don't remember exactly what happened, but
it was a squeeze play, and the 91 didn't like what the 9 did.
No.
That's clear, right?
Yeah.
We can go with that. That's how you break it down up here, Joey.
That's how you did it. Good job.
Thank you, brother.
I believe at the start of this show we said short track, short tempers, right? It happens, right, Joey? Keeping yourself in check at these places isn't always easy.
Yeah, you got to think big picture, right? And it's really hard to do that. It's hard to not look at just the hood pins, right, of just what's right in front of you. You got to think of what's the main mission when you get to Martinsville. Is it to win the race? Is it to score the most points you can? Is it just to maximize your day? Or is it to go out there and wreck the guy that just moved you out of the way, right? Like, is that really what you want to do? And I think that's probably different for everybody, what they're trying to do out there. And sometimes you know, as drivers just see red after you get moved out of the way, and then we talk about how it snowballs into something else.
Remember how I said that Ty Majeski was keeping pace with Corey Heim? That's not happening anymore. Corey is just, look at that. I mean, just
that lead.
in a couple of laps, he's just driven away.
But like I said, if you're Ty Majeski, let it happen.
Yeah.
Let it happen right now. I don't think it's worth going yet.
No pressure from behind.
You're not going to drive up there and pass him. You got no chance. So try to gain an advantage somehow, right? Which would be save some tire more than him. Maybe have a little fresher tires because you didn't drive as hard. But I can promise you that Corey Heim's probably not running 100% right now either.
Big night for Toyota, their 500th Truck Series start. And they started on the pole. You see what they've done in this series. 181 poles, 236 wins, 9 driver championships, 13 manufacturer championships. The first win, though, came back in 2004. It was at Michigan. Travis Quapple picked it up. And the first championship, Michael, I'll quiz you on this again, 2006 it was?
Todd Bodine.
The Onion got their first championship. Be pretty sweet for them to collect the win. 59 laps to go.
Whoa. Here comes Luke Baldwin. He wants to join the party again. Lawless Allen with a good run here inside the top 15 in that one truck. Is he going to shove Stewart out of the way? I think so.
Yeah, well, there was a little bumper tag right before that, and that's kind of like, hey, you bumped me, I'm going to get you back. And here we are.
Ben Rhodes says, welcome back to the Truck Series, Lawless Allen. There is action all over this racetrack. 58 laps to go here from Martinsville. Corey Heim continues to lead. We're going to step aside. You won't miss a thing.
So Corey Heim leads the way as things stand. 57 to go. What an interesting race this is turning out to be. The 67 of Ryan Willett is officially out of the race. For handling, apparently. He is the first truck out of the race. Coming into tonight, 17 total DNFs in 2025. It's the fewest throughout the first 4 races of the season, now technically 5 races. Also then, Munoz is to the garage. Team could fix it. It's considered mechanical. So Frankie's BTW as well. Oh, that's the latest updates of what we've got from you. As we see the 13 side by side with the 1 down into the first corner. So that's Jake Garcia and Lawless Allen battling over 17th position. And it's the 13 who stays ahead. So Allen's down into 18th. They're being caught up though by Matthew Gold in the 44 car just behind as they come down through 1 and 2. Now we come to the 71 battling with the 18. So that's Raj Karus alongside Tyler Ankrum, who, well, of course, we all... Oh, hang on a minute, we've got a yellow. Caution's out. Corey Day has gone around and he's spun it. He's gone backwards, uphill into turn 3 and has brought out the yellow. He should be able to get this one refired. There doesn't seem to be any big problems. But the caution is out for the 6th time today. He's got the car refired. He's going to loop it back around. Wait for the moment that the track is clear to go down, which is now. Spins it round. Oh, and big bodywork damage to the rear bumper truck on the right side. It's sort of been smashed inwards. So the 7 car, it's raceable, but work would need to be done. Corey Day was running, no, he's 29th now on the board. But out comes our 6th caution of the night then, with 53 laps to go. Axel Sealer should likely for Munoz will put him behind the wall as well. Let's send it back upstairs to Fox Sports as our 6th caution of the day comes out. And Day is responsible for it as well.
As you saw on Fox side by side, caution is out for the 6th time. This time for the 7 truck of Corey Day.
Running in the 20th position on the lead lap. See what goes wrong here for him. Dawson Sutton, the 26, just runs into the back of him.
Yeah, I believe you called that correctly, Michael.
Oh, thank you, Joey. Just broke that right down as the round goes. Corey Day.
Makes you wonder if something happened before that, or was it just a mistake? But I feel like something must have happened before that.
A lot of damage on that truck. As you see him working on that. Looks like they will be able to continue.
See if anybody elects to come to pit road, as we do have some takers. Starting with Raja, who was running in the 6th position.
Yeah, these are all the trucks that stayed out last time. They got one set left. So sling them on and hope they're worth something.
See Matt Crafton there in the 88 truck. William Byron is on pit road. Gio Ruggiero.
Raja with a really fast truck. So like you said, just get on a different page of these other trucks and see if you can mix it up. You know you're not going to beat Corey Heim straight up. So put on those fresh tires and see if you can get it done with different strategy.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Yeah, I mean, you can't, like you said, Michael, you're not going to beat them the way it is. You better somehow find a way to get an advantage. They tried, this group of trucks already tried to beat them one way by staying out and getting the track position. Okay, that didn't work. Now let's put tires on, see if we can beat them this way.
I love that.
On Sunday, it's time for some door-to-door short track racing as the NASCAR Cup Series takes on this track here at Martinsville. Pre-race gets things going at 1:30 Eastern, then green flag flies at 3 o'clock. That's Sunday on FS1. And look at JL. That's Joey Logano right there, 3-time champion. Always good to have you up here in the booth with us, Joey.
Yeah, and he's a heck of a telestrator operator as well.
And there's counters. There's a lot of really cool things on the telestrator you can play with here, and I have fun with it.
Yeah. Last week was the drivers only, but I told you, you're like a professional anyway, so I don't think it really counts. You and Brad were so good last weekend.
Well, this is a lot of fun. I appreciate Fox letting us do this. I've had a lot of fun over the years, whether it's the Xfinity series for years and now with the Truck Series. It's fun to get up here and talk about racing. It's like you're hanging out with your friends watching the race.
Well, Corey Heim continues to lead here, and it seems like all we talk about is Corey Heim leading laps and winning races. Let's take a look at how quickly he's accumulated 13 wins. He becomes officially the youngest to get there at 22 years old.
Doing some special things behind the wheel of that Toyota pickup.
And that truck, I mean, Corey Heim, Scott Zipadelli, and those two are tough. They're tough to beat, and you see that week in and week out in this Truck Series. And you know, the Truck Series has changed over the years, right? Where you know, Kyle used to run a lot, and he won all of them, right? So, and it has changed a little bit from that standpoint. But I think there's no way you can not give Corey Heim the prestige, the respect that he deserves for as dominant as they've been as they come to choose.
You know, Joey, I think every now and then a guy will come along like you did, like Kyle Busch did, and you watch them in a truck, and it doesn't take you long to say they're not only going to win truck races, they're going to win cup races. And that's how you would talk about Corey Heim.
Yeah, he'll be in a cup car shortly, I'm sure, and will be in contention.
Well, Denny Hamlin saw that in him, signed him on as a development driver for them, does the sim work. Scott Zipadelli is crew chief. Talked to him earlier, and I said, would you ever go cup racing? And he said, probably not unless it was the right situation. I said, what if when Heim goes? He said, I'd have to think about that because he's a special driver, and they have a special bond, and that just might be the guy that gets him up to cup. There he is right there in the middle of your screen.
Well, here we go. Ty Majeski, you have a chance, right? You're out there on the front row. You got a chance. Honeycutt in the 45, I think you got a chance too. You better go while you can, though, because if you let him get out front, Corey Heim's gone. So you're going to have to race your guts out on this restart.
Look at Tyler Ankrum right up there as well. 46 laps to go. Corey Heim, Ty Majeski, Caden Honeycutt not giving up.
You know, Ty Majeski, not a good start through the gears. And here they are going to be 3 wide down into turn 3.
It's Caden Honeycutt right up the middle. But there's Chandler Smith in the 38, pushing the issue 3 wide. They're leaning on each other.
Holy cow, that's precision driving right there.
And we've seen Chandler Smith make this move a couple times, right? We've seen him in the middle of 3 at some point a couple times. This is comfortable for him.
A whole lap without wrecking. I don't think I've ever seen that 3 wide around here. They sorted it out.
Majeski takes over the 2nd spot. The Tyler Ankrum right there, the highest we've seen him tonight. Daniel Hemrick in the 19.
And look at Luke Baldwin in that 66. He's
Where
up to
did he come
7th
from?
position. He's just been moving forward all night long.
He is fast.
He has been so fast. Ever since he spun out, I don't know what happened.
Oh,
no!
He's out again. Jake Garcia gets into him. Damaged by Matt Gold.
That's a shame.
Oh, the 7 truck. Corey Day again.
He just got turned there, but man, like you said, Joey, everything's stacked up. You know that Jake just didn't run over him, but that's certainly what it looked like, huh?
He was ripping through the field too, passing a lot of trucks, really, you know, looking good. Looked like he could have like a top 5 in his future there, and this is obviously going to make that a lot harder to do.
That's rough for Luke Baldwin. Good news is, Joey, though, he has 2 more starts. He'll take all these things that he's learned tonight, but we know he is fast. Corey Heim continues to lead. 42 laps remaining at Martinsville.
One hour, 22 minutes into this race. We have 40 laps to go. 41 now on the board. 7 cautions, 2 lead changes, and 58 stage laps of 100 in stage 3. Lap 158 out of 200. Yeah, not the... It's a bizarre race, this one. It's a difficult race. In order to maintain that, is it going to go well? Is it going to keep going well? Let's have a look. Subby 2BE says, go Cody Denson. Where's Cody Denson in this one? Where is he? Down in 31st position, 5 laps down. I'm sorry, your favourite driver's not doing well. Caution out. Few with debris. Who's going to dive down pit lane? Says Matthew Gold's going, but he's just taking it. Corey Day, no, 2. Yeah, 2 cars. Corey Day, 2 laps down in the pit lane. See who else dives in shortly. There's oil leaking down on pit road as well. That looked like it was coming from the 7 car of Corey Day. Who was involved in the caution? Over the line then, 40 to go. Tension starting to rise now. There's an atmosphere building. And we might get a couple of cautions, you know, still towards the end. I don't think it's going to be as plain sailing as we think or have said tonight. It's still providing a weird complex around here, this Martinsville circuit. But Corey Heim leading the way at 0.8 of a second. It is a big up and a big surprise. A few cars coming down pit road. Luke Baldwin, Matthew Gold. Corey Dennison's in the pits. Norm, by the way, the 6 car's gone behind the wall again. Okay, let's head it back up to Fox Sports.
And cleanup continues here at Martinsville Speedway. 39 laps to go as we're under caution for the 7th time. Happy to have you joining us for this Friday night short track race under the lights. It's been all about Corey Heim. He's led 144 laps.
All about Corey Heim. Just great driving. Restart after restart. Look at there. The train's coming by.
I mean, look how close that is to the racetrack. You hear those trains coming throughout the day. And Joey, you guys sleep here and your coach is at the track.
So you hear them through the night, actually.
Got a little repair there on Luke Baldwin's 66. He remained on the lead lap.
Well, let's take a look at the night so far. Early on, we saw hard-charging Lane Riggs in the 34 get spun around. Corey Heim dominates stages 1 and 2.
And then action starts to heat up.
Corey Day just his hands full there after Luke Baldwin's spin there.
Dawson Sutton into the back of Day again, issues.
And the most recent incident here involves the 66 once again. Gets punted by the 13 of Jake Garcia. Few trucks with damage after that one. You saw Corey Day go around. His day is just getting worse. 2 different leaders, 2 different lead changes. 7 cautions, par for the course for Martinsville.
There's a 60-50 chance we haven't seen our last caution too, Jamie.
A 60-50. We had 11 cautions in this race last year. Did you get that, Joey?
Oh, yeah. I looked at him for a second. I was like, do you know you said that right? Well, I think this is where the choose, this is where it gets a little bit more challenging, right? Majeski hasn't been able to really restart through the gears well. He's got the second best truck, but it's a distant second. And, you know, as you come down to the end of the race, that outside lane becomes a little bit more of a risk to take.
Yeah.
And it's how much do you trust the truck that's inside of you? Really the question that Majeski needs to ask. If Honeycutt takes third, you know, the second car on the bottom car in the second row, do you trust him not to ship Corey Heim up the racetrack, and before you know it, you're 3 wide up top, right? So, you know, we'll see how bad Honeycutt, or what Honeycutt is willing to do,
yeah,
to try to win the race here.
And it's interesting, don't you think, when someone has been as good and dominant as Heim has been, does Honeycutt say, I got to put the bumper to him, or is he like, you know, he's been dominant, I'm going to respect that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it depends on who you are. And
yeah.
Like, I mean, I say it all the time. NASCAR racing will test your morals in a lot of ways, and especially as the playoffs go around. So what are you willing to do, right? And we're all going to learn tonight what Caden Honeycutt is willing to do.
He's been fun to watch on restarts, and you see it says the trip back there on the decklet, the rear spoiler there. That is the Triple Truck Challenge. Tonight is the first of 3 races. So the driver who is eligible that wins the race or finishes highest, right now it looks like it'll be an eligible Truck Series regular, they get to take home a $50,000 bonus. So a lot of extra money on the line. Green flag is in the air once again. Honeycutt all over the bumper of Corey Heim with 35 laps to go.
Corey
Heim.
This is going to be a tough pass for Honeycutt still, but he's got inside of Corey Heim. This is the closest we've seen anybody. And look, he's gaining position through the corner.
Oh, rough and tumble. Big push from Majeski. They're all over.
Oh, Heim to the wall. He goes wide. Heim goes around.
Left rear flat.
Left rear is flat. Caden Honeycutt is the leader, and the caution is out for the 8th time.
Oh, my goodness.
What a turn of events.
Man. We talked earlier about how bad last week hurt for Corey Heim to have the dominant truck and get beat late.
And you see that they lean on each other here off of turn 4 quite a bit.
And that was enough to get
right
that
there.
tire, right?
Right there. And I think right here he realizes it's flat. He's lifting, and, you know, Ty Majeski doesn't know that, right? So he didn't do anything wrong. But, gosh, and that's just Martinsville Racing. The crazy thing about this, Michael, is this whole field's been leaning on each other all night long, and we haven't seen a left rear tire go flat like that.
The perfect storm, or the imperfect storm for Corey Heim. They made slight contact, Martinsville type contact, because you see right here.
Yeah, like that's not bad. And there it is. You see it flat already, just
immediately. Yeah.
What a turn of events. We were just talking about Caden Honeycutt and what he can do. He was aggressive on the restart, got himself in position. Now he finds himself as the leader.
Yeah, and just to be clear, like Caden Honeycutt, I don't see anything wrong that he did, right? Like, it was tough racing at the end of Martinsville. You're going to have contact. He knew he had to rough him up to get underneath him. He didn't dump him. He just pushed him up the racetrack a little bit and started racing him. I think that's okay in my book. Everybody's book's a little bit different, but I think that's all right. And unfortunately for Corey Heim, he got a flat tire, and gosh, it's just is what it is. Let's listen to the 45. I think we got a little radio from him.
I got his tire down?
I don't know.
Touched off of 4, but I didn't think it was that bad. Just check the right side, guys. I really hope I did not do that.
Well, I think Joey said it so well. You know, in Martinsville, you're going to rub. I mean, there's no way around it, and that was a rub, and it just took his tire out. Doesn't make it any better for Corey Heim.
Michael, you brought up the heartbreak a week ago at the end of Homestead after dominating the race from the pole, won both stages. Here's a look back at what happened. He's leading. All of a sudden, he falls off the pace. Joey, you guys are thinking, what in the world is just what's happened to the 11?
Oh, the heartbreak here. Look how slow he was down in the turn 1. He had a huge lead. It shuts off. He gets back going, shut off again, gets back going again. He still almost finished second after all that.
And bummed out. He still finished third, but just best truck of his life, he said. And then tonight, he has this moment after leading 149 laps.
Yeah, and it must be like the side skirt or the exhaust pipe that just got into the sidewall just enough to cut it down. You see he's still limping around on that flat tire. He's finally going to make it to pit road. His pit road opens finally.
That is a long drive down to his pit box, the number 1 box.
Now does your spotter, if you're Ty Majeski, Tyler Ankrum with a strong run, does the spotter say, you know, Honeycutt roughed up the leader, so don't be shy about using your bumper? Those words sometimes get passed down from these spotters to the driver.
Yeah, but ultimately it's the driver's decision on how they're going to race, right? I mean, there you see a lot of the spotters there, and these guys are all professionals, and they understand it. And I don't think they're going to be the guys that instigate something most of the time, right? The best spotters understand that it's best to keep my driver calm and not try to get him fired up to make a decision that may not be the best for his future.
So Caden Honeycutt, the leader right now. His best career finish was 4th in the Truck Series. This is just his 39th start. But Michael, I know you've been high on him since the beginning. I feel like every time he gets a shot in one of these trucks, and he earned it. He's a full-time driver for Nice Motorsports this year.
It's been fun to see him get his legs. And he's like, you know, when we watch Lane Riggs, you could tell early.
Look at that damage.
Well, you can see that's probably what cut down, not to cut you guys off, but if we can zoom in there a little bit, you can see the right side skirt of that truck just sticking out. That's a weapon, right? And I believe that's what cut down the left rear of Corey Heim.
Was that a
interesting
to the
move
bottom
here
for Majeski?
That's right. Majeski went for the inside of the second row. Ankrum takes the front row.
What about Ankrum? Terrible qualifying effort, and he's marched his way all the way through this field.
Sounds like Martinsville. If you can just survive and keep yourself in the hunt, you have a chance at the end of it. And here we are with 28 to go.
200 lapper came from 24th all the way to the front row here late in the going. That's got to be a great feeling. Majeski chooses to line up behind Honeycutt here. He hadn't done that with Corey Heim. He went to the outside of Heim.
It's been 128 races since Tyler Ankrum went to victory lane. He restarts on the front row. Caden Honeycutt, green flag is in the air. 27 laps to go at Martinsville.
Honeycutt clears. Oh, did he clear Ankrum?
I think he's going to.
Majeski is there. Ankrum stuck on the outside.
And as those two race side by side, this is going to give Honeycutt a chance to get away from Majeski. But I do believe Majeski has the second best truck if he's able to get cleared here.
And there's Daniel Hemrick right there behind Majeski trying to size him up.
I say the second best truck to Corey Heim. So now I believe he has the best one if he can go up there and chase him down.
Look at Ankrum. He decides to give up that second spot and roll in behind Majeski, holding off the 19 of Daniel Hemrick.
Hemrick having his best race of the season. Since coming back to the Truck Series, it's 3 wide.
Oh, no, not again.
Gio Ruggiero in the 17 trying to hang on.
Oh, wow.
Battling his teammate Tanner Gray. Trucks all over the place. There's Ben Rhodes on the inside.
I cannot believe they didn't wreck.
They're not done yet. They're 3 by 3. 2 rows now.
There's Corey Heim. Back on fresh tires, trying to make hay right now. Oh, my goodness. There's a lot going on.
What about Mozak? Had that penalty, and now he's trying to battle back.
That's all a battle for 20th. They're racing that hard.
Looks like Talladega.
That's a huge fender rub on.
That's Willie.
07, William Byron. Guys, we haven't talked much about him. He's kind of been mired there from trucks all around. There they go.
That was that group of trucks, too, that were 3 wide for a long time.
Tanner
Gray in there.
Jack Wood, Grant Enfinger. Oh, it's been a rough night for Grant Enfinger. Just not happy with that race truck. So the caution is out for the 9th time. Caden Honeycutt continues to lead. Here's what happened.
That was just a matter of time. Dawson Sutton slow up top. Grant Enfinger into Tanner.
Yeah, everyone kind of ran out of space there.
Look at that mess.
There were sparks off of Grant Enfinger's truck as they went into that corner, and it makes me wonder if that truck had a flat right front, because it did kind of take off up the hill quite a bit. I almost wonder if he had a flat right front going down into the corner.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to see that one more time to really say that's for sure what happened. But those sparks in the braking zone before he made contact would tell me that that right front might have been down.
And that's the result of 3 wide at Martinsville for a couple of laps. Grant will bring that number 9 to pit road. I feel pretty good about my 60-50 chances that they're going to have another caution.
Yeah, I think there'll be another one too.
Looking good, Michael.
I don't think that it might not be over.
Remember that $50,000 is on the line for the winner here. These are all eligible drivers. How cool that would be. While we continue under caution, there's been some amazing finishes at this place in the Cup side. And oh, look at JL. How about this battle, Joey?
This was one of the most important races of my life, because this is what propelled us into the championship 4 in Miami, ultimately winning us a championship in 2018. So that was a do or die moment, and it felt good. That one felt good.
You drove your butt off there.
A little controversy followed that one. You know?
I bet.
But yeah, well, I mean, I don't regret it, right? I mean, what are you supposed to do? Like, you put in that position where you're racing for a championship, the chance is right there in front of you. I did get moved up a little bit out of the way before that, so I'm like, you know what? I think I can do this now, and ended up working out.
One thing for sure, Jamie, drivers have excellent memories. If you get moved around a bit and there's a chance for you to move them back, especially in a pivotal moment just like that, what a thrilling finish. What a place Martinsville is, though, for those types of moments over the years.
There are highlight reels of this place, of the finishes like yours, Joey. I mean, we're going to see more of that on Sunday, no doubt. We've seen a little bit of that tonight in the Truck Series, of course, Xfinity tomorrow. But I love this place. It just lends itself to finishes like that.
Well, it does, because everybody is that close, right? When you put bumper to bumper just like that, going, you know, at pretty slow speeds around here at Martinsville, you're asking for it, right? Like, you're asking for trouble. It's going to happen. And everybody has a line, right, Michael? We talk about this all the time. What is driver code? What does everyone accept? What do they not? What kind of contact's okay? And, you know, if you're going for a win, you know, I think a lot of times you're going to have to expect some, you know, some bumping and banging. Getting spun out is a completely different story, right? I don't think anyone wants to do that or wants to see that. But I think a little bumper tag is kind of expected here at Martinsville.
I think it goes way back. I remember my brother winning a race here when the two cars racing ahead of him got together and he was able to sweep by them. That was back in the 80s. So bumping and banging at Martinsville certainly isn't anything new, for sure.
That's part of NASCAR racing. It is part of our roots. And you know, Kevin Harvick, he had the podcast, and you heard Kyle Petty on there on what is acceptable and what isn't, and you know, are things different today than it was, you know, 20 years ago? Well, yeah, absolutely. But gosh, when you come to a track like this, I don't think it has changed much.
17 laps to go here. If you're looking for NHRA Top Fuel All-Star Callout, that is coming up next right here on FS1. What do you think, Michael? Do we see another caution?
Yes. Yes, I don't see any way around it. There's just too many competitive trucks. And I think that's a big part of it, Joe. You talked about back in the 80s and 90s. There wasn't 20 trucks on the lead lap coming down, or 20 vehicles on the lead lap coming down to the end of these races. So there's just so many more vehicles that are battling for these wins as Majeski chooses the bottom again behind Honeycutt.
Ty Majeski in second. Let's listen to his radio.
He kind of set the principle there for how he's willing to race for the win. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just get your stuff right. You can do this.
I told you, Joey. He was saying, you know, he kind of said what it's going to take to win the race, and they were reminding,
yes.
That's exactly what they were reminding Ty Majeski of what Honeycutt did to grab the lead. We don't think Honeycutt crossed the line, but he was reminded that he did have contact with Corey Haim.
Right. And I would think if Ty Majeski can get there and move him up a little bit, it's probably going to happen. Don't forget about Ankrum on the outside.
Tyler Ankrum on the outside, 98. Ty Majeski all over the bumper of Caden Honeycutt.
And there's a couple, taps right there.
Honeycutt clears him.
Honeycutt just needs to drive the 15 laps of his. Oh, look at there! He opened the door. He opened the door.
Here's Daniel Hemrick taking a peek.
Oh no!
Around goes Ty Majeski, and around goes Caden Honeycutt. Into the wall. The caution is out for the 10th time.
Oh no! And Ankrum was close. I don't know if Ankrum got in the back of, or in the left rear of Majeski. We'll have to see a replay of that.
Look at that truck, just shortened.
Oh man, look at that team.
Oh man.
Look at the back of the 45. Such a great run for that young man. Let's see if we can figure out what happened.
Here you go. Look at Ankrum. He gets a run. He's trying to make a block at the same time. I don't know.
Majeski might have just got loose on that entry. What do you think?
I don't know. That angle's really hard to say. I mean, he might have just gotten free into the corner. Yeah,
yes,
he did.
He did. He wheel hopped, I believe. Maybe got those back brakes hopping.
I think you're right.
Oh.
Yeah, here's a good angle. Watch those rear tires into the corner.
There
yep, you see that truck hop. You see the back of the truck. It started hopping and one or two hops there. And at that point, as a driver, once you start wheel hopping down into the corner here at Martinsville,
over.
You're along for the ride.
Let's see what Chandler Smith sees. He sees himself drive up to the 4th spot. He's going to start on that 2nd row if he chooses, or the 1st or 2nd row, depending on what happens ahead of him. This truck's been solid all night, but right here, Majeski just makes a mistake on entry. And you saw his hands, it whipped. He couldn't do anything about it. That was a mistake.
Yeah, once you've made the mistake of driving in too hard and getting on the brakes too quickly and get the back of that truck wheel hopping with these truck arms the way they are, it just bounces like a basketball. It keeps, each bounce gets worse and worse, and if you can't cut the speed, you're done. It's like the rear tires are literally jumping off the ground. You have no tires on the ground, and that's what, you know, the result is. And unfortunately for Caden Honeycutt, nothing he did wrong, right? I mean, he's going to go back and look at how he opened up the door off of turn 4.
Yes.
And let that be a possibility.
Second time tonight we've seen the leader go around and bring out the caution. Saw it happen to Corey Heim earlier tonight. Corey Heim working his way back up. He's back up to 14th. And guys, look who the leader is. Tyler Ankrum, 128 races since he last found victory lane. That was back in 2019.
And this guy qualified 24th. That tells you the storyline of this race here tonight in Martinsville. So many guys that have been at the front have found themselves spun around, and he's just been steady and consistent to the front.
But this thing is far from over.
Far from over.
A lot of stuff still can happen, and we've seen the last two cautions come from the leaders. So coming from the very front here, well, not the last two, but a few of them at least have been from up there.
Look who's in second. Daniel Hemrick. The guy started his career in the Truck Series, goes to Cup, goes to Xfinity, wins the championship, has never won a race in the Truck Series. He's sitting second right now.
And again, we're going to talk about the choose. What do you do?
Well, if I'm Daniel, what do you do, Joey?
I'm taking the second row on the bottom, bud.
That's
10 to go at Martinsville. I think that's the only option.
Here we go.
Jake Garcia has been strong tonight too, guys, in that 13.
Oh, he couldn't make up his mind.
Jake Garcia is going to go to the front row.
So Hemrick will be on the bottom, second truck in line.
How about Connor Mozak? And he's back up onto the 5th row. He had that penalty for
restart violation.
The restart violation there for going under, changing lanes before the start-finish line, which is questionable. And he's done a good job bringing himself back into the top 10 right now.
Look at this, the top 5. Only 2 of them have a win to their credit.
Tyler Ankrum, I think Tyler Ankrum just needs to run the 8 best laps of his career here to get this victory and maybe get away from Daniel Hemrick and not let him get into the back and give him a shove. Daniel's a very, very respectful driver, but man, we're talking about a grandfather clock on the line here, and we've seen these leaders do about anything so far.
Green flag in the air. Tyler Ankrum.
Jake Garcia, I think, missed a shift maybe or something.
The outside lane stacked hard.
Look at Daniel Hemrick right there. Ankrum in the 18 truck. Bill McAnally, Hilgeman Racing. They dominated these 2 races last year. They hit the setup right tonight, Michael. You talked about it. He qualified mid-pack, leading this race now with 7 laps to go.
Now he's just cheering for all these cats to keep it together. Don't spin each other out.
Matt Crafton is slow on the track, trying to hang on to it, trying to get to pit road to stay green here.
This is the most 3-wide racing you've ever seen at Martinsville.
It's amazing.
Oh no!
Lane Riggs.
Straighten him out.
Straighten him out for him.
Wallace Allen, thank you.
I think he actually fixed his fender rub as well while he was at it.
And look at Hemrick. He's closed.
As the leader crosses the line, we've reached our craftsman. 5 to go. It's Tyler Ankrum, Daniel Hemrick.
Hemrick's better.
He gives him the bumper there at the 2/3 mark, able to get underneath him down in the turn 3.
Crafton black
Chandler
flags.
Smith back there in 4th, closing the gap up off of turn 4. They go around. There's that 88 truck that's been slow on the track.
18's impressive up on that outside, hanging in there, but Daniel with a nice blast off the second turn.
What a battle. 3.5 laps to go. Daniel Hemrick in the 19 truck trying to bring it home for his first career truck win. He's got control of the race. Tyler Ankrum back in second.
He did a good job passing him clean, but right now he better run.
Martinsville has produced more first-time winners than any other track. It's happened 11 times. Daniel Hemrick trying to make it a 12th.
And he is driving away. That truck looks really good, much better than Ankrum right now.
He just needs everybody to keep him straight for another half lap.
The 19 truck, they went to victory lane twice last year, but this is a completely rebuilt team, different crew chief, different driver. White flag is in the air, 1 to go. Daniel Hemrick, he's gone to the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, back to Cup, and this year came back to the Truck Series where it all started. He has worked his career off trying to get to victory lane, comes out at turn number 4. Daniel Hemrick, checkered flag, he wins it at Martinsville Speedway. And he picks up that $50,000 bonus for the Triple Truck Challenge.
The kids are going to victory lane.
Great run.
Oh my gosh. Thank you, Bill. Back that way. Josh, congrats on your personal, man. Big crew. Badass job. All of you, thank you so much for believing me.
Josh Graham, the new crew chief on board there. I know Hemrick's wife, Kenzie, their 2 daughters were all on pit road tonight at the start of the race. Joey, this guy's been around a long time. For this moment to happen, for him to finally find that victory.
You said it. Daniel Hemrick's been, you know, around the block a couple times, right? He's been to the Cup level, he's been to the Xfinity level, he's doing the truck stuff now. But you said it. There's no moment like winning a NASCAR race. I don't care what division it is. It feels great. But being able to celebrate with your family, right? And we're going to see that here in a minute, I'm sure. Kenzie's probably getting the kids to wake up again, maybe. They might fall. It's past bedtime for little ones. But it's worth waking them up to go get the pictures in victory lane and celebrating together.
All right, so if I remember this right about Daniel Hemrick, guys, when he gets out, he used to do a backflip.
That's been a
wow.
That's been a minute.
It's been a minute. He got that win when it counted most at Phoenix. He won the race and won the Xfinity Series championship.
You think he's still got a backflip in him? He ain't that old.
We're going to find out.
He's got that Napa helmet on, looking good.
Doing it with the helmet on, I think, well, smart, but harder.
Sketchy. Oh, gosh. Is he going to do it? He's like, wait a second, let's take this off.
Ah, this is big.
I think he's going to do it.
What a moment. 50,000 bonus from Craftsman for that Triple Truck Challenge, but that grandfather clock, he'll have that forever.
Here we go. Whoa! Gonna do it off the top.
Whoa!
Yes! He sticks it.
That was awesome.
Man, it looked like it wasn't even hard for him. That's amazing.
What a feeling. Look at that smile. Josh, he's coming your way.
What a journey it's been for Daniel Hemrick, an Xfinity Series champion, but never won a race in the Truck Series until tonight. And of course, he celebrates with the backflip. Daniel, that truck really came alive towards the end of that race. Talk to me about that battle you had with your teammate in the 18 truck, and what ultimately led to this victory.
Man, I've been losing my voice here all week. I think I saw you earlier today and didn't really have one, but we found the way there at the end. I wanted to race Tyler. Obviously, we got a long season ahead. I want to race him as clean as I could, but I walked out of here twice thinking there's a missing spot in my dining room for a clock, so it's cool to finally get one here, to have Mike and Paula from Gates Hydraulics here. Their first race with me. This truck's now 3 for 3 here. That's the exact same chassis. Huge congrats. Thanks to everyone at MHR, Bill McAnally, and Bill Hilgman for this opportunity, man. I said I want to come back here and not come back here to get back anywhere, just come back here to win, to stay humble, just enjoy this journey, man. I'm so thankful for the path I've been on. And I see this extra 50 grand we won, so thanks to Craftsman, and what a series. Super proud just to be here. And man, Napa Auto Care, Poppy Bank, South Point Hotel Casino, I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, but man, we've had a lot of good tools. Chevrolet does a lot for us, but so sweet to have a clock there sitting in the home here too.
You got the clock, of course, the Triple Truck Challenge winner, so you take the check as well, and you got on top of the truck. I saw you thinking a while about the backflip. Were you always going to do that, or were you a little hesitant there?
Yeah, the funny thing is my wife asked me a couple weeks ago if I was old enough, if I felt like I was young enough and not too old to do it. I said I better practice one, so last week in our backyard I cut a backflip on the flat ground. I thought the old man still got it and proved that tonight.
Congrats on the win. Caitlin?
Gosh, 2 weeks in a row now for Corey Heim. Frustrating circumstances keeping you from a win. What are the emotions that you're experiencing right now, and what are the positives perhaps you can take from the speed you've had 2 weeks in a row now?
Yeah, a lot of frustration, of course. Really wanted to get a win for Toyota's 500 truck start, but you know, obviously I had the Tundra to do it today. Just feel like we, I don't know, got used up there a little bit. So I don't think he intended to cut my left rear down. I think if he wanted to do that, he would have just wrecked me as it is. So yeah, just watching it here, I mean, kind of jacked me up. in 1 and 2, and then just kind of running to me in 3 and 4. I mean, it wasn't anything malicious, but I don't know. I guess I would have liked to have been cut or break. In hindsight, I think if he knew he was going to cut down my left rear, he probably wouldn't have done it. But it doesn't stop me from being pretty frustrated at him to begin with. So super thankful for Tricon Garage, Toyota Racing. This Mobile 1 Tundra was really good today. Just feel like we, I don't know, just needed a better restart, I guess.
Thank you. Tough break for Corey Heim, 2 weeks in a row now. Jamie?
Yeah, Corey Heim just dominated. Started on the pole, won stage 1, won stage 2, led 149 laps. And then his issue happens, and that just shook everything up.
Yeah, I think he's handled that about as well as he could after getting squeezed into the wall and losing that tire. Obviously a dominant truck, but he understands this is a pretty tough little racetrack too.
Yeah, I think his perspective was really, really good on that and the way he handled that. But what I took out of that interview more than anything is he looked at it as a winner would and said, maybe I just needed to get a better restart to get away. He looked at what he can do better instead of blaming it on someone else racing him. That's a true winner move.
I just love how Daniel Hemrick said he practiced a backflip in his backyard.
He could feel the wind coming, baby.
I love it. He called himself an old man. He's only 34 years old, but he gets it done tonight. His teammate Tyler Ankrum finishes in second. You saw Bill McAnally down there hugging him. What a moment.
And we talked about Corey Heim a lot tonight, I know, but he did drive all the way back up to 6th to finish. And there we see William Byron in 14th. He had that fender up there at the end, got beat up a little bit.
Dr. Patrick Staropoli got a top 20 there in the 84 truck, started last, finished 20th. Good job by him.
Rough night for Grant Enfinger. You saw him. And Frankie Muniz ended up pulling off early. And Corey Day just not getting the results that he hoped for when he made the transition over here to part-time truck racing. But he's making his Xfinity Series debut tomorrow, so a lot more on the line. There's Bill McAnally on the
Bill.
right.
Yes, sir. Crew guys out there congratulating Daniel.
Hard to find a nicer guy.
You could tell by his interview how humble and thankful he is for this opportunity.
Did you hear him say, I came to the Truck Series not to go anywhere else. I'm not here to use it as a stepping stone. I want to take it in and show how much I appreciate being here. Here's the pass for the lead right here. That 19 truck on the inside of Ankrum.
And I think Tyler's probably totally comfortable with how his teammate raced him here.
Yeah, there's obviously a very clean pass here on the bottom, wrapping the curb well. That both of them raced each other very clean.
Well, let's hear from the driver of the 18 truck. Caitlin?
Yeah, Jamie, he's standing by just kind of watching the conclusion of this race, watching the replay back. Anything you would have done differently, Tyler?
Had a better restart and gotten away faster. Congratulations to Daniel. Can't think of a better guy, a nicer guy to win. I mean, yeah, he gave me the bumper, but I mean, you're going to do that at Martinsville. So I honestly would have much rather had him, a teammate, giving me the bumper for the win so we could just get a win for MHR. But you know, it's tough when you have a pitiful qualifying attempt like I did, looking like a rookie out there and starting 24th and having to drive through the field. So definitely thought we could run top 5 and competed all night long before all the best trucks started wrecking one another. That was another nice part, having a teammate behind me. So congratulations to MHR, to Bill McAnally, Bill Hilgelman, Liona Chevrolet. Just can't thank everyone enough. You know, just so damn close, man. Like, it sucks. It sucks so bad.
Well, nice job tonight. The runner-up here, Tyler Ankrum.
Good to see him. Look at Ryan Blaney. We showed he started the night on pit road, and now he goes over there and gives big congrats to Daniel Hemrick. Well, I think it goes to our point. We just talked about how nice Daniel Hemrick is. It doesn't get better. And you're hearing it all around. You're seeing the hugs and the joy and drivers congratulating him.
Yeah, you don't see that for every winner. I may not see that when I win. But it is cool to see that. Daniel Hemrick is a great person, and he's been around the sport for a long time. And I think a lot of people respect the story, right? He's gone through so many challenging moments to where he's had to figure out what he's going to do next year, right? He didn't have the big, you know, I'm going to be in the best car and do this and this and this. He's had to adjust his career a few times. So when you get success after that, I think people really respect that.
And again, Ankrum was just kind in defeat. You know, he said, it sucks, it hurts. Yeah. But he also knew that he was raced cleanly, and second was what he had tonight.
I think it's just a matter of time before we see. Oh,
look at there. It's the best moment.
Little boy, his little girl is there as well. So good to see. We're so happy you joined us tonight. For Michael Waltrip, Joey Logano, Caitlin Vinci, Josh Sims, and our entire Fox Sports team, I'm Jamie Little. Congratulations, Daniel Hemrick. Coming up next, it's the NHRA Top Fuel All-Star Call-Out. So long from Martinsville.
I echo the words. Thank you very much for joining us for the Truck Series. We'll be back with Xfinity tomorrow for all of the action, as well as qualifying for the Cup Series. Join us then. From us all here from the Trucks. Thanks for your company. Good night.